program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with songs by the King's Men and music by Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with "Oh, G.O. Joy." The Johnson Wax Program. The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, songs by the King's Men, and music by Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with "Oh, G.O. Joy." Is there sabotage in your garage? You know what I mean? Like the rest of us, you're probably not driving your car as much now as you used to, and it sits around in your garage a lot of the time. But even though you don't use it much, you want to be sure the finish isn't deteriorating by occasionally cleaning and polishing it with Johnson's Car New. If you take care of the finish with Car New, your car is still going to be new-looking with its original showroom shine when it goes back into full service. Fortunately, Car New costs very little, and it's very easy to use because it cleans and polishes in one application, and in quick time, too. You don't have to spend an afternoon polishing your car with Car New. Many car owners tell us they do the job in an hour. Even if it takes you a little longer, you'll say it was a job well done, time well spent. If you want added protection for the finish, if you want to save on car washing, try adding a coat of Johnson's Auto Wax or regular Johnson's Wax. But first, clean and polish it with Johnson's Car New, spelled C-A-R-N-U. There's a mouse at 79 Wistful Vista. There's also a slight uproar on account of said rodent. And where there's a slight uproar, there's Fibber McGee and Molly.
Well, do something, McGee. Hurry. I can't stand up here on this table all afternoon.
Okay, but what do you want me to do? Lie down in front of the baseboard and switch my tail and meow?
No, but Cherry Moy says I can get down.
Oh, all right. Go ahead. Shoo. How's that?
Well, that ought to do it. Now, help me down, please.
All right. Come on. Step on the chair and then on the footstool. That's it.
Imagine that. Takes me 3 careful steps to get down, and I went up in one graceful bound. Heavenly days, what a fright I had.
Now, I don't know why women are so scared of mice. Mice don't hurt anybody. Why, when I was a kid, I had white mice for pets. And I always said, what's that? Get him off me!
No.
Get him off me!
No. Stop jumping around. That wasn't a mouse. Your garter's dangling.
Must have busted us when I peeked under the davenport. Hey, we got a mouse trap?
No, I don't think we have.
I'll have the hardware store send one over. Give me the phone. Hello, operator. Give me the hardware store next door to Mercer. How are you, Mercer?
There's 4 cracks in this.
How's every little thing? Tis, eh? What's name, Mercer? Your brother. Blew his brains out.
Oh, heavenly days, how terrible.
Oh, he does it every night. He's learning to play the tuba. What's name, Mercer? Okay, I'll call later.
Say, how does it happen that whenever you get merged, you don't get the number you're calling, McGee?
Shall I call her back and ask her?
No, not that.
Now, let's see. How can I get that now? Hey, we got any sardines?
Yes, I think we have a couple of tins. But do mice like sardines?
I don't know, but I do. I thought I'd make myself a sandwich and think this thing over.
Oh, no, you don't, dearie. The first thing on your program is get rid of that mouse.
Well, mice are pretty smart little reptiles, so I got to figure this thing out careful. But I'll outwit the little beggar. When I really map out a campaign, I'm invisible.
You're what?
Invisible. Nothing can beat me.
You mean invincible?
I do not. Invincible means something you can't see. Like the Invincible Man.
No, that's invisible.
Oh, yeah? Well, where's the dictionary?
In the hall closet.
You win. I'll concede it. Now, the first thing to do is figure out where that mouse was coming from and where it was going. Then we can waylay him someplace.
And how do you go about finding out where a mouse is going?
We tail him. You get it, Molly? He says, how do you find out where a mouse is going? And I said, tail him, which is an expression used by detectives.
That's very funny, McGee.
It is? Oh, well, I got to get to work. Now, where'd you first see this little Disney dinosaur?
I saw him coming out from behind the bookcase.
The bookcase, eh? Mark Mouse. The one place in the room where we never go. Now, look, if I put a little piece of bacon over by the bridge lamp there and stand over here with a shotgun...
Oh, no.
Huh?
No, you don't. You'll shoot no shotguns in here, dear.
Rifle?
No.
BB gun?
No.
Slingshot?
No.
Bow and arrow?
No.
Well, doggone it, what am I supposed to do? Feed him caramels till his teeth go bad and then hope he gets run down on his way over to the dentist? Padding my part.
Now, listen, I'll have no violence getting that poor little fella now. So get busy, mastermind. I gotta go clean upstairs.
All right, Mousy, here I come, ready or not. On your guard, you little rodent. Now, the first thing I better do... Come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hello there, little girl. Now, don't distract me now. I got a problem. I said, I got a problem on my hands. I got to catch a mouse.
How?
Well, that's the problem. One way might be to give Uncle Dennis a clarinet and let him march around down here so the mouse would think he was a pie-eyed piper and follow him out. Okay. Scoff if you want. But remember, they laughed at Edison, too.
Yeah, but they're not laughing at you, mister.
Hey, what's the idea of holding your hands up in front of you like that?
I'm practicing, I betcha.
Practicing for what? You entered in a patty cake tournament or something?
No.
Well?
I'm practicing carrying a bride's veil.
Oh.
I'm going to be at Sharon Lee Toops' wedding next week.
Oh, you are. Oh, and you're going to hold the bride's veil, eh?
Sure. I'm going to walk behind the bride and groom.
You mean bride and groom?
Have you seen him?
No, I haven't.
No. So, I'm going to walk behind the bride and groom and hold up the veil so it doesn't get the carpet all dusty.
That ain't the reason they hold up the veil, sis.
Well, why do they then, mister? Why do they?
Well, they do that so the veil won't get dusty. Because 7 years later, that veil is going to come in awful handy as a curtain for the bathroom window. Now beat it, sis. I got to catch a mouse.
Oh, you're going to use the mouse trap?
No, not me. A mouse trap is crude. You see, with me, it's a matter of strategy. I said it's a matter of strategy. And there's 3 kinds of strategy in catching mice. You can trap them, or trick them, or use violence. We ain't got a trap, and Mrs. McGee don't want any violence, so I got to trick them.
So, you mean it's the mouse's brains against yours, huh?
Yes, sir. And when I get... Hey, where are you going?
I'm going out and get you a mouse trap. So long, mister. what on earth is all this junk out here for?
What junk?
Oh, that little dinner bell and all the folded newspapers and the electric fan and the stuffed owl and the playing cards.
Oh, that stuff. I just rigged up a little gadget to get that mouse.
Well, how on earth do you expect...
Now, don't be skeptical, Mrs. McGee. It's perfectly logical. Now, look. The mouse comes out of this little hole in the baseboard here, see?
Yes.
And when he does, he bumps into the little bell. See? Which makes him think it's Sunday and everybody's away at church. That gives him confidence.
Yeah, but what if he thinks it's the good humor man?
That's ridiculous. Everybody's heard of a church mouse, but who ever heard of a good humor mouse?
Well, he got me.
Okay. So full of confidence, Mr. Mouse comes walking out into the room. See? I got these newspapers folded up, making a path over to the end table here.
Yes?
And as he walks along, he trips this string, which turns on the electric fan. See?
Oh, yeah. Then I suppose he starts doing a fan band, and he gets arrested, and we're rid of him for 90 days.
Now, let's be sensible about this, Molly. As soon as the fan starts, he feels the breeze and thinks he's a field mouse. He looks around, and wow, there's that owl staring right at him, and he dies of heartache. I tell you, it can't miss.
Yes, but what are the 3 playing cards for?
Oh, the ace, king, and queen?
Yes.
I was going to bury him with simple honor. Now, shut off the fan, Molly, and I'll rig it up.
Maybe it would have been better if I had pretended I never saw that mouse.
No. Don't get discouraged. I'll get the little varmint.
A little what?
Varmint.
What on earth is a varmint?
Well, a varmint is, something that lives around the same place you do. You've heard the old argument, which is more important, heredity or environment?
For a minute there, I thought I had you, dearie.
Come in.
Hello there, kids. Uncle Dennis here? No, he isn't, Mr. Oldtimer. He's out just now.
Where'd he go, George?
Well, I think he went sailing with some elderly friend of his.
What gave you that idea, Molly?
Well, I heard him say he was going out and toss some old granddad down the hatch.
That's pretty good, George. But that ain't the way I heard it. The way I heard it, one feller says, t'other feller says, he says, is it true that Japs are attacking Alaska just to save face? Can't be, says t'other feller. I've seen their face, and I don't know why you should want to save it. You say Uncle Dennis ain't around here, kid?
No, he isn't, old timer. What do you want him for?
How much does he weigh?
Oh, about 170. Why?
170, eh? Let's see, at a cent a pound, that'd be $1.70. Not bad, not bad.
What are you talking about, old timer? What do you mean a cent a pound?
I'm collecting scrap rubber, Johnny. Filling stations give you a cent a pound.
Yes, but Uncle Dennis...
Here's one of the biggest bounders in town, boy. You know it. Tell him I'll be back. So long, John.
That, McGee. You know, Uncle Dennis is not a bounder.
No, he's more of a cat. General Motors will pardon the expression.
He's not a cad either. He may have his weaknesses, but he's a well-educated, well-mannered gentleman. I'll have you know he studied law for several years.
Did he graduate?
Yes, but he could never pass the bar. Now, this isn't catching the mouse, dearie. Now, get busy.
Hello, folks.
Oh, hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Harold. You got a cat?
A cat?
Yeah, a cat. C-A-T, cat.
McGee, you rascal.
Huh?
You've been holding out on me. I never knew you could spell cat.
Oh, I'm sorry, Fibber. I have no cat. Will a Cocker Spaniel do?
Nope, gotta have a cat. This house is overrun with a mouse.
Yes, it scared the daylights out of me this afternoon, Mr. Wilcox. Believe it or not, I was up on top of that table before you could say scat.
What? Why, I couldn't jump up there myself with a running start.
Well, I don't blame you for being skeptical, but...
There's that mouse again. See, Hollow? She did it again. Now do you believe her? Here, Molly, I'll help you down.
McGee, now, do you mean to stand there, the man I used to love, and tell me you just did that to show Mr. Wilcox how far I could jump?
Oh, I didn't want anybody doubting my wife's words, sweetheart.
Don't get mushy with me. Here, help me down.
There, take my hand, Molly. Now, that's it.
Thanks.
Now, that's it.
Thanks. Did I scratch the table?
Got Johnson's wax on it?
Yes.
No, you didn't scratch it. Incidentally, when you go on your vacation this summer, you know what to do first, don't you?
Certainly. I can use mandolin. Then if we go canoeing, he can do some paddling for once.
No, that isn't what I meant by preparing for your vacation. What I meant was to go over all the floors, woodwork, and landscape, windowsills, and all wood and enamel surfaces with Johnson's wax before you leave.
I knew you'd get to that before you left, Junior.
And then when you come back, you'll know your things have been protected against dust and dampness. Because Johnson's wax seals surfaces against moisture and grit and wear.
I know all that, Mr. Wilcox. I take a lot of pride in my housekeeping.
I don't know why you got mine.
That has nothing to do with it. Anybody can have mine.
Anybody can have this one. You want it, Junior?
No, thanks. Incidentally, where are you going on your vacation?
Well, we haven't decided, Mr. Wilcox, what with saving tires and gas and cutting down on pleasure driving. We probably won't be doing anything very fancy.
Hey, I got a great idea, Molly. What say we take a long walking trip?
Walking trip?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No.
I thought... Well, you even thumb a ride when you go down to the corner to mail a letter. How about you, Mr. Wilcox?
Oh, I'm going to have a wonderful summer. I'm going to talk to Mike about...
Mike? Who's Mike?
Well, that's what we call a microphone in radio, Fibber. I'm going to talk to it about Johnson's wax on our summer show. Well, I'll see you later.
Gee, I've never been so embarrassed in my life. Why did you make me jump up on that table in front of Mr. Wilcox?
Embarrassed? Why, I was proud of you, Molly. It ain't every guy that's got a wife that can do a standing high jump of 3 feet 4 inches.
No. You just say that.
No, really. It's hard to believe that anybody as pretty as you could be so embarrassed.
Oh, stop it.
In fact, when I saw that last leap of yours, it made me realize how fond I am of you.
What do you mean?
Oh, I mean, you got the kind of a spring that a young man's fancy lightly turns to thoughts of love in.
Come in.
Good day, Mr. McGee. Hello, McGee.
Oh, hello, Mayor Latrivia.
All right, Latrivia, how's Trick?
Oh, Trick is fine. I took her to a nightclub last night. Oh, everything's fine. It's fine. Did you lose something, Mr. McGee?
Oh, you mean because I keep looking around, Mr. Mayor? No, there's a mouse here someplace, and I'm a little nervous.
Oh, I see. But what I came over for was about your scrap rubber.
Now, don't you worry about that, Mr. Mayor. Tomorrow, McGee is going through the house with a fine-tooth comb and take all our scrap rubber over to the filling station. Now, for instance, he has a pair of hip-length fishing boots.
Hey, you ain't taking my wading boots. Why, they're practically new.
They leak.
They don't either. I had them.
Yes, they do. I cut some rubber rings out of them for some fruit jars this spring. Wonderful rubber, dear.
Okay. Can't use my tires to go fishing anyway.
Well, any kind of rubber will do, Mr. McGee. Old hot water bottles, garden hose, tennis shoes. If it's made of rubber and you can possibly spare it, give it. Your filling station man is authorized to give you a cent a pound for it. As one of them said to me this morning, bring your scrap over here so we can finish that scrap over there.
Or how about turn in your rubber, a pound or an ounce? It will all help our soldiers give Hitler the box.
That's very good, Mr. McGee.
Oh, it's nothing. Merely an old saying I just made up.
How's the rubber campaign coming along, Latrivia?
Splendidly. The citizens of Wistful Vista are responding nobly. They realize the time has come to pitch in and help.
The time has come, the walrus said, to speak of many things. Of shoes and chips and Johnson's wax and cabbages and kings.
We just want rubber, Mrs. McGee, not shoes or cabbages.
No, she was just quoting from Alice in Wonderland, Latrivia.
I know. I was just saying that cabbages are not pertinent to the subject.
Are you accusing me of being impertinent, Mr. Mayor?
Oh, certainly not. I merely remarked.
You better be careful what you merely remark, Latrivia. My wife is never impertinent.
I didn't say she was impertinent. I only said that cabbages
And
were...
don't be so snobbish about cabbages either. I like cabbages.
As it happens, I don't care for it. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh, he don't like cabbage. Cabbage ain't good enough for him.
No.
You're a snob, Latrivia.
I am not a snob. Just because I don't like cabbages, don't...
Why don't you like it?
It always gives me... Never mind why I don't like it.
Oh, you won't talk, eh? Secret, eh? Here's a supposedly good American mayor of a good American city, and he don't like a good American dish like cabbage.
Yes, I wonder if the Dice Committee knows about this.
I don't care. Just because you twist everything I say doesn't mean a thing to me. There's free speech in this country, and I'll say what I please.
That's the spirit, Latrivia.
Spoken like a good American. Good for you.
A mayor to be proud of.
Let's give him 3 chairs and a tiger. Get 3 chairs out the dining room, dear.
Okay, but where'll we get a tiger? Hey, Latrivia, you know where we can find it? Never mind. Hey, how would you catch a mouse, Latrivia?
I'd import a few Russians. They seem to be pretty good at exterminating rats Good day.
The King's men sing, I like a balalaika.
Won't you come with me down to the Russian quarter? You will hear a melody strummed by a Russian quarter. The instrument he plays is old as love itself. It's called a balalaika, and speaking for myself, I like a balalaika, the Russian balalaika, because the girl I like to hear a balalaika playing like a balalaika play. They play a passionata, concerto or sonata, they sing an awful lot of notes, and that is why I like to listen when a balalaika plays. Hey! You know that steel guitars don't go with hammer. The balalaika is all you will hear into the Russian atmosphere. Oh, the balalaikas make you want to take delight. Awake the I like a balalaika, a Russian balalaika. I have no special reason why I like a balalaika, only that the girl I like to hear a balalaika playing like a balalaika play. Let your heart a tingle, let your brain a tingle, listen to the mingle, a fellow can't say tingle. Oh, I like a balalaika song.
Hey, Molly, I really got the idea how to catch that mouse.
What is it?
Were you ever in the Hall of Mirrors at an amusement park?
Yes.
Kind of confusing, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, look there. You see that shoebox down there against the wall?
What'd you do? Sell them off some heavy shoes so you could hear him coming?
Now, never mind the destructive criticism. That box is lined with pieces of looking glass.
Oh.
And a piece of bacon rind in the middle of the box.
Yeah.
Mouse goes in, grabs the bacon, looks around, sees 57 other mice, he thinks, and gets panicky. Forgets how he got in. Then I reach in, grab him by the tail, and away we go, laughing and scratching.
Well, it's just foolish enough to work, but I hope...
Come in.
Oh, it's Mrs. Uppington. Hello, Abigail.
How do you do, Mrs. McGee and Mr. McGee?
Hi, Ebony. Sit down and cool your metabolism.
What's on your mind, Abigail?
Well, nothing important, my dear. I just wondered if you would care to go shopping with me tomorrow. I'm going to buy some slacks for summer.
Oh, my God.
I do understand, Mr. McGee, that you disapprove of slacks for women.
Well, he doesn't exactly disapprove, Abigail. He says they're all right coming towards you, but terrible going away.
Matter of fact, I never knew why they call them slacks. The only slack most women have in them is around the ankles.
Well, I'm afraid you have a very mid-Victorian viewpoint, Mr. McGee. And besides, people who live in glass houses, you know. Meaning that Mr. McGee somewhat resembles Mr. Abbott on his approach and Mr. Costello on his departure.
Oh, yeah? I'm just muscular, that's all.
Yes, he is, Abigail. He's very much.
Oh, I don't doubt it in the least, my dear. But I'm afraid he's confused his setting up exercises with his setting down exercises.
Okay, but I'm telling you, I don't like slacks on women. They ain't feminine. Would you expect me to give you my seat in a streetcar if you were wearing slacks, Tuppy?
Certainly not, Mr. McGee. I should feel very self-conscious taking up all that room by myself. Well, my dear, would you care to go with me tomorrow?
I certainly would. Pick me up here about 10 o'clock now. And if we see some good-looking slacks, I might get some myself.
Oh. Well, good day, and I'll see you in the morning, my dear.
All right, Abigail.
And, Mr. McGee, I might suggest that you modernize your idea somewhat. You will admit that slacks for women are a great improvement over the hobble skirt.
Not for me, they ain't. Between the hobble and the wobble, I'll take it.
McGee. Goodbye, Abigail.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
McGee, don't be so so rude to Mrs. Uppington. You know, she's really very sensitive.
Sensitive my elbow. She's as thick-skinned as a cantaloupe, which is probably why she can't.
Hey, look, Molly, the mouse is in the box. I caught it.
Close it up, dearie. Don't let her get away.
I got it.
You didn't think I could do it, did you? Now then, you little pet. I'll keep you around, scaring people. You come with me.
Oh, what are you going to do with it?
Never you mind out. You be the
Oh, dear, I hope he doesn't do anything that... Oh, what am I saying? I told him to catch it, didn't I? I was the one who... Come in.
Hello, Mrs. McGee.
Oh, Mr. Wimple, you're a sight for sore eyes. In fact, you're a sight with sore eyes. What happened?
Sweetie Face and I were playing house this morning.
What fun playing house.
Yes, I was the door, and Sweetie Face kept slamming me. My goodness, but that woman is strong.
She must be a regular Amazon.
Amazon. That's the river with a great big mouth, isn't it?
Say, just how strong is your wife anyway, Mr. Wimple?
I really don't know, Mrs. McGee, but this noon she threw a plate 25 feet.
25 feet? Well, that's not very far to throw a plate.
Yes, but it was my upper plate, and I was weighing it.
Well, what was the cause of the little breakage?
Oh, we had a little tiff about where we were going on our vacation. I got just what I wanted, too.
Good for you.
Yeah. I told Sweetie Face I wanted to go to the seashore because I love to feel the salt air in my nostrils.
Ah, so you're going to the seashore.
No, she just slapped me in the face with a wet herring.
Well, that's that, Molly. I took the little nuisance out. Oh, hi, Wimp.
Hello, Mr. McGee.
Well, you're a sight for sore eyes. In fact, you're a sight with sore eyes. What happened?
We've taken care of that, McGee.
Oh, I was outside for a minute.
What did you do with the little,
Don't worry, I disposed of the varmint.
I know, but I hope the little thing didn't, it didn't suffer.
Not a bit. All I did was...
Don't tell me I don't want it on my conscience.
It won't be on yours. It'll be on mine.
You mean...
Yes, I let it go.
What?
I couldn't hurt the little dickens. He wiggled his nose at me, and I couldn't take it. And here I thought I could... Hey, there he is back again. Right under your... Oh, now, tell. Hey.
Get off your table, Mr. Wimple. I got here first.
Don't think it.
Tables, Mrs. McGee.
Get away, you first. Oh, sweetie,
Well, one good thing seems to be coming out of this war. Greater neighborliness among all of us. Haven't you noticed this in your own community? Block captains, air raid wardens, first aid courses, they're bringing us closer together to meet our common problems. Right now, these problems are pretty serious. But there are other less serious problems on which neighborly advice is helpful. For example, if you've discovered how Johnson's self-polishing glow coat protects and beautifies your linoleum floors, saves you hours of work in a bargain, isn't that worth passing on to your friends? Tell them that glow coat actually makes linoleum last 6 to 10 times longer. Tell them that it needs no rubbing or buffing, shines as it dries. It's on sale by dealers everywhere. The easy-to-use floor polish, Johnson's self-polishing glow coat.
McGee, do you realize next week will be our last broadcast of the season?
So what?
Let's do a simply wonderful show. Let's do something different, unusual.
You mean get some new jokes?
Oh, there you go. The minute I try to make a suggestion, you go completely fantastic.
I'm sorry. Same old stuff next week, folks. Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking and inviting you all to join us again next Tuesday night at this same time. Good night. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company. Wax program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with songs by the King's Band and music by Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with Fine and Dandy. Here's my advice for the week to car owners. Don't let your car sit around with road scum and smashed bugs eating into the finish. Not when it's so easy to make that finish sparkle like new and keep it that way with Johnson's Car New, the easy-to-use polish that both cleans and polishes with one application. No matter how much you've cut down on your driving, you still need to keep the finish smoothly polished to keep it new-looking for the day when driving restrictions are off. And that job is a cinch with Car New. This remarkable polish is a liquid. You rub it over the finish, let it dry, wipe it off. Until you've used Car New, you'll never believe how quickly it brings back your car's original showroom shine. Once your car is sparkling with that smooth Car New polish, you can apply a coat of Johnson's Auto Wax or regular Johnson's Wax for added protection and to save on car washing. Your regular wax dealer, auto supply store, or service station has both the Johnson's Auto Wax and Johnson's Car New, spelled C-A-R-N-U. Isn't it a wonderful feeling to get out the old suitcase preparatory to packing for a summer vacation? And isn't it an awful letdown when you can't find the keys that unlock the suitcase so you can pack it? Oh, you don't think so? Well, listen to Fibber McGee and Molly.
But McGee, darling, why did you lock the suitcase when you put it away empty?
I don't know. Just seemed neater that way, I guess. Anyway, I can open it with a hair finish. Give me a hair finish.
I'm afraid to.
Huh? Why?
Well, my hair might come down, and if I ever let my hair down, I might tell you what I think of a man who locks an empty suitcase and then loses the key.
Well, gee willikers, Oh, I know where the key is. Ain't I the rummy?
Well, go get it then, dearie.
I can't.
Why not?
It's inside the suitcase.
Heavenly days. I thought that only happened in comic strips.
Well, comic strips are just exaggerations of what happens in real life.
Yeah? Well, I'm beginning to think our lives are exaggerations of what happens in comic strips. I got that for now. What are you going to do now? We need that suitcase.
I'll pick the lock. Locks on suitcases are very...
Come in.
Hello there, kid. Understand you're leaving on your vacation tomorrow.
Yes, we are. First thing in the morning, it's up that away to the mountains.
I thought we were going to the seashore.
No, I decided.
You decided.
Yes, I
Now listen here.
No, don't argue, kid. Why don't you go spend a few weeks at my brother's dead ranch?
You mean Dude Ranch?
No, it's dead, daughter. That's why I'm trying to round up some customers for the kid. You'd love a ranch. You can ride or go out on horseback or go for a long gallop across the prairies or spend all day long in the saddle or take a brisk cat in the early morning air or...
Yeah. Or go horseback riding.
Sure. He's like my brother, too. Natural horseman.
Born Westerner?
No, born bow-legged. Just got a letter from him last Saturday. We chipped in and bought Papa a jackknife for Father's Day.
Jackknife? Why didn't you get him a necktie?
Waste the money, Johnny. Papa's got a beard down to here.
Doesn't he ever wear a necktie?
He won't tell us if he does or not. Well, I'll leave the secretary here for you kids. I know you'd like ranch life. You can ride or go horseback.
Yes, we know. You going out there yourself this summer, Mr. Oldtimer?
Mike, daughter. Ain't had a vacation since, well, let me see. This is 1940.
This is 1942.
It is? What happened in 1941? Oh, I know. I went to see Gone with the Wind.
Now, listen, that wouldn't account for a whole year.
So I sat through it twice, daughter.
Gone with the Wind. That picture is played at the Bijou Theater so often that the manager, Mr. Finkelstein, talks with a southern accent. Mouth in my words.
That's pretty good, Johnny, but that ain't the way I heard it. The way I heard it, I'll tell you in September. So long, kid.
Well, we won't won't be going to a ranch or any place else if I can't get this suitcase open. Bring me a glass of water, will you?
What for?
I'm going to pour it into the lock and then put the suitcase in the refrigerator. Water freezes, expands, and forces the lock open. That way we
Couldn't
can
you ruin the suitcase just as easily if you chopped it open with a hatchet? Or maybe use dynamite?
Well, what would you do?
Well, I don't like to be obvious, dearie, but if you needed a toothfix, you'd call a dentist, wouldn't you?
Why, sure.
Well, who would you call if you wanted a lock fix?
A dentist?
A locksmith, silly.
Oh, I never thought of that. Well, where's there a good locksmith?
There's one next to Kramer's drugstore. Luke Smith.
Give me the phone.
Here.
Thanks. Hello, operator. Give me Luke Smith, the locksmith, next door to Kramer's Mert. Is that you? How's every little thing, Mert? What's that, Mert? Left on your doorstep. With a rattle in one hand and a bottle in the other, eh? Why don't you adopt him, Mert? Oh, gee, I wish you would.
Stop it, McGee. What business is it of yours if they adopt a baby?
It wasn't a baby, it was Uncle Dennis. What's that, Mert? Well, never mind. I'll see you in September, Mert. Yeah. Goodbye.
Look, McGee, I have some extra keys upstairs. I'll go get them. And after this, when you lock an empty suitcase, don't do it.
I wonder if the brute force will open it up. Nah, dead rat, the dead rat. Come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hello there, little girl. You know anything about locks?
Sure I do, I bet you. We listen to it all the time.
Listen to what?
Locks. Locks Radio Theater. You know, my mama says that Cecil DeMille is one of the
I didn't say lux, I said locks. Like on this suitcase. You know how to get it open?
Let me take it, mister. Sure, I can get it open.
How?
Give me the key and I'll show you.
Doggone it, sis, I haven't got a key. That's just the trouble. The key's inside and we're leaving on our vacation tomorrow.
Oh. Where you going on your vacation, mister? Where you going? Where are you?
Oh, most anywhere. The mountains, the woods, the desert, the seashore. As long as it's in the great outdoors.
We got one, too.
You got one what?
A great outdoors. My daddy cooks hamburgers on it.
Hey, that sounds pretty good. Why don't he ever invite me over for some hamburgers?
Well, you know, I asked him.
Huh?
I asked him that once, but he said you wouldn't enjoy it.
Why not?
He said you're so full of baloney all the time you wouldn't have any appetite.
Haven't you found a way to get that suitcase open yet? My goodness.
Look out, Molly. Stand back. Over this way.
What's the nurse?
Face the wall a minute. Now hold it. Ah, doggone it. Didn't work. My last firecracker, too.
Gee, what are you doing shooting firecrackers off in this house?
Trying to blast the lock open on the suitcase. Lock's either too strong or the firecrackers are too weak.
Heavenly days, it smells like the Battle of Bull Run in here. Open the window. Now that's better. Now what in the name of Shanghai Czech gave you the idea of using firecrackers?
You did. You mentioned something about dynamite a while ago, and I called up the hardware store, and they didn't have any dynamite.
Fibber McGee, if you ever bring a drop of dynamite into this house,
Dynamite don't come in drops. Comes in sticks. It ain't dangerous if you handle it right. Why, I and my cousin Ellsworth used to blast tree stumps with dynamite all the time.
Oh, I never knew you had a cousin Ellsworth. Tell me more. Did I ever meet him?
No, and you never will. You see, I and Ellsworth were blasting stumps one evening, and it begun to get dark.
Yeah?
We worked later than we should have because we wanted to get finished. So I jammed a hunk of dynamite under the last stump, grabbed up my coat, gives Ellsworth a kick, and hollers, "Come on, Ellsworth!" Just goes to show how deceptive that evening light is.
Why, McGee?
I had put the dynamite under Ellsworth and hollered at the stump. We were all broken up about that. Particularly Ellsworth.
I imagine so. And that proves the dynamite is safe to handle, huh?
Not around a guy that looks like a stump, it ain't. But when you really know what...
Come in. Oh, hello, Abigail.
How do you do, Mrs. McGee? And Mr. McGee.
Hi, Uppy. Sit down and take a ton off your tibia.
Oh, thank you, no, Mr. McGee. I can't stay for just a moment.
Oh, that's too bad.
What's too bad about it? If she can... Huh? Oh. Well, how's everything in the uppy bracket, Upper? I mean, the upper bracket, Uppy.
Mr. McGee, I find your vulgarities and impudence so thoroughly unamusing that I must say frankly, I'm looking forward to your 13 weeks' absence with an ever-increasing joy and impatience.
Oh, you're sweet, Abigail. We're looking forward to it, too.
We're going to miss you just as much as you're going to miss us, Uppy. You know, you ain't a bad little sister at heart.
No, really, McGee, I didn't mean that.
No. Don't be ashamed of a little honest sentiment, Uppy.
What I was trying to convey to your somewhat faltering intelligence, Mr. McGee, was hardly a message of tender felicitation.
What you mean, sis?
I was endeavoring to transmit the thought that I was happily, almost ecstatically, looking forward to your departure. Now, have I made myself clear?
Yes, you did. And I never heard a farewell speech worded so nice, Uppy. I wish you'd write that down in our guest book.
Could I write it on your shirt front with carbonic acid, Mr. McGee?
Oh, Abigail, you clown.
The old moose has really got a sense of humor, ain't she, Molly?
Well, it was awfully sweet of you to stop in and say all those nice things, Abigail, but we'll come back just as soon as we can this summer.
Oh, yes, do. I shall really miss you, my dear. But as for Mr. McGee...
I know. As for me, you can't come right out and say it on account of me being a married man. Well, so what? Molly knows you're fond of me and you're odd sort of way, so who cares?
Mr. McGee, can't I make you understand just exactly what I... Oh, no, I guess I can't. So goodbye, Mrs. McGee. I hope you have a splendid time this summer.
Really sweet, McGee.
I never realized she cared so much about us, Molly. Why, when she went out, she was biting her lip to keep the tears back. You never can tell about people, can you?
No, not for instance.
Hello, folks.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox. I was wondering what... Why, Meredith Wilson, how nice to see you again.
Hello, Molly. You're looking well. How are you, Fibber?
Hi, Bud. What was the name again?
Meredith Wilson, Fibber.
Wilson. I don't believe it. You're any relation to Peggy Wilson, that band leader's wife?
Well, I'm her husband.
You are? Well, shake hands. Any husband of Peggy Wilson's is a friend of ours. What are you doing in town?
Now, Fibber.
Huh?
Meredith Wilson is a famous conductor. He composes symphonies. He writes popular music that hits the hit parade. He originated chiffon swing. And he's going to do the Johnson Wax Summer Show again this year and give Billy Mills the rest.
And believe me, Billy turned it. He's done a wonderful job.
You folks?
Oh, indeed he has. And we love your music, too, Mr. Wilson.
Well, thank you, Molly. I think myself that I have a neat little combo. Hot or sweet, Chicago or barrel house, classic or groovy, no boozers or chasers, have all tuxedos, no travel, bus or train.
talking about, Bud?
Now, listen, Fibber, if you're pretending you don't recognize me on account of that $3 you borrowed back in 1940, you paid me that back.
I did? You mean I don't? Oh, hi, Meredith. I'm glad to see you.
Thanks. I thought you would be. I just asked Harlow to bring me by so I could wish you a pleasant vacation.
Well, thanks, Mr. Wilson. We'll be listening to you this summer from wherever we are.
Swell.
Incidentally, don't go so far away that you can't get this week's copy of Life magazine. Comes out Friday the 26th.
Why, Harlow?
Well, it's got Fibber and Molly's picture in it.
It has?
Yes, sir. And a double-page spread about what Johnson products are doing in the line of war duty.
Well, we'll sure get a copy.
Now, how's my picture looking? Have I got that sophisticated look I've been reading so much about?
The ad tells all about how Johnson protective coatings are used on airplanes, army textiles, housing projects, special wax finishes for leather belts, holsters, boots.
Does my picture show in front view or profile? Because everybody says my left profile is...
Believe me, that advertisement gives you a new slant on Johnson wax products. We've got a sponsor that knows there's a war going on.
Oh, that's great, Harlow. And any sponsor of yours is a sponsor of mine, I always say.
Are you having just a musical show this summer, Mr. Wilson?
No, we've got a wonderful new added feature this year. An old friend of mine, John Nesbitt.
Not John Nesbitt, the passing parade man.
Sure, you've seen his movie shorts for MGM, Molly, and heard him on the air. Say, I asked him to stop in here, but I guess he...
Oh, maybe that's him now. Come in.
Mr. McGee lives here?
Why, hello, John.
Oh, hello, Meredith. Oh, there's Harlow. Hello, Harlow.
Hello, John. Say, I want you to meet a couple of friends of ours. Molly, John Nesbitt.
How do you do, I'm sure.
How do you do, Molly?
And this is Fibber McGee, John.
Hello, Fibber.
what was the name again, Curly?
Nesbitt. Nes is in nasturtium, and bit is in off more than you can chew.
I've seen a lot of your movies, Mr. Nesbitt, and I think they're wonderful. Say, how do you ever find all those fascinating stories?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of a hobby of mine, Molly. I go around digging up odd little facts, historical or otherwise, that I think might be overlooked in the passing parade.
Well, good for you, Curly. And now look, anytime you need any advice about... Hey, excuse me, has anybody got a toothpick? Oh. Anytime you need any advice about what's good taste on the air, Bud, just drop me a line. I'll be glad to give you the benefit of my vast experience.
Well, thanks, old man. You know, I'm really going to enjoy working this summer with Meredith and with Wilcox Harlow.
It's Harlow Wilcox, John.
Is it really? Well, I looked him up in the telephone directory, and they have him down as Wilcox Harlow.
I must have been backward about paying my phone bill.
You going to announce the summer show? I say, are you going to announce the summer show?
Yes, sir, and it's as good as a vacation for me. We have a lot of laughs, and the studios are so air-conditioned. Why, we hate to leave after the broadcast.
Yes, I tell you, they're really wonderful. But won't you boys sit down and have a cup of root beer or something?
Well, no thanks, Molly. But before I go, I wonder if you'd mind if I...
What?
Well, I've always had a kind of a yearning to... Oh, no, it's ridiculous.
Oh, what is it, Mr. Wilson?
Well, would it be too much to... I mean, would it be an imposition if I... Well, could I please open your hall closet door just once?
Why, sure thing. Go ahead.
Help yourself, Mr. Wilson, right in there.
Gee, thanks. Is this the one right here?
That's it. Open her up.
Thanks. Gee, this is interesting.
The King's Men sing the Blacksmith Song.
The village smith he stands by the tree. The smith, a mighty man now is he. He's busy as a big bumblebee, reshoeing horses for society. He swings and sings as the horses pass. He does because when he swings the anvil chorus, all the horses laugh. For just as every dog has his day, the smith is back again now to stay. kind of guy he used to be. He plays and saves all the rubber he can get. And you can too. If you'll search the whole house over, we'll get Hitler yet. So bring it to the Smith by the score. What you haven't any use for anymore. 'Cause you pay a cent a pound for a rubber. If you pile it on the ground by three. Don't recognize his friends anymore. 'Cause he's sprucer than he used to be before. And he's climbed as you can guess off the ladder of success. But he keeps the same address.
Doggone. The way this lock resists burglary, you'd think the suitcase was full of emeralds. Oh,
I think you better rest a while, dear. You're dripping wet. Can I get you a glass of something cold, iced tea or lemonade or something, maybe?
Thanks. Just makes me all hotter. Boy, this is really a scorcher today, isn't it?
Yes, and the summer's just starting. Yeah. I do hope we go someplace where it's cool, McGee.
Yeah, but outdoors is outdoors, Molly. You can't have fresh air and sunshine without a little...
Come in.
Oh, hi, Latrivia.
Hello, McGee. How do you do, Mr. McGee? Fine. Warm.
It is. I tell you, it's hotter than a St. Louis sidewalk, Mr. Mayor.
I'm so hot I could do spot welding with my bare hands. What can we do for you, Latriv?
Oh, nothing, McGee, nothing. I just heard you were starting on your vacation tomorrow and dropped in to wish you bon voyage.
Well, thanks, Mr. Mayor, and the same to you.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere, Mr. McGee. This promises to be a very hot summer, and the city hall is air-cooled, so I think I'll just remain on the job.
You may have something there, that, Latrivia.
I know I have, McGee. You go camping or traveling and get hot and dusty. You can't take so many changes of clothing. Can't have a shower whenever you like.
McGee, don't you think it would be better if we... Oh, what am I saying? A vacation is a vacation.
Why, sure it is, Molly. It's just sour grapes with these fellas that keep yipping about the air-cooled offices and restaurants full of ice-cold watermelon and all stuff like that there. What's a vacation without a little discomfort?
Well, I'll certainly be thinking of you. Out in a fishy-smelling rowboat, under that broiling sun, fighting off the flies and squirming under your sunburn. Well, enjoy yourself.
No, Molly, I've been thinking this thing over, Molly, and I wonder if we...
Yeah?
Well, I mean, geez whiz, what with the war and all, maybe it would be better if we... What do you say we don't...
Oh, dear. This is the same feeling I had the night you started to propose to me and the hot water heater blew up. Come in.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee.
Hi, Wimple, old man. How's everything?
Oh, just fine, Mr. McGee. Except that I'm a little worn out after yesterday. My, what a strenuous day.
What happened yesterday, Mr. Wimple?
Sweetie Face and I went to a wedding.
Oh. The matrimonial monkey shines get you down, Wimp?
Oh, of course not. It wasn't the wedding so much, but Sweetie Face tied my old shoes to the back of the groom's car while I was still wearing them.
Heavenly days, how brutal.
No, it was just thoughtlessness, Mrs. McGee.
A very harrowing experience, I should say.
Wimple, I hate to keep repeating it, but you ought to assert yourself. Speak up to Sweetie Face. Be a man. You got rights.
Yes, I know. But my rights are so much weaker than her left. Do you know that Sweetie Face never walks downstairs to breakfast?
What does she do? Punch a hole in the floor and slide through like a fireman?
No. She leaps out the window to the limb of a tree and swings down from branch to branch, just like Tarzan.
What's so funny about that?
Well, don't you tell a single solitary soul now, but this afternoon I saw the top limb of that tree almost clear through.
Oh, good heavens, she'll break her neck.
Yes. Well, have a nice vacation, folks. Goodbye.
Look, Molly, the more I think of it, the more I think we got everything in town here we'd need for a good vacation. Shows, restaurants, all the comforts of home.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say that, Billy. You know, when those boys started talking about the air-cooled NBC studios, well, I just couldn't stand it.
Yeah, they are marvelous. Say, I wonder. Give me the phone.
Here.
Thanks.
Who are you calling?
You'll see. Long distance, please. Hello, operator. Get off the line, Mert. I'll see you in September. Operator, give me the Johnson Wax Factory in Racine, Wisconsin.
What on earth are you?
Hello, this is the Johnson Wax Factory? Mr. Johnson, please. Mr. Johnson? It's Fibber McGee speaking. Fine, how are you? Oh, that's good. Look, Mr. Johnson, me and Molly don't feel just right about leaving you in the lurch for 13 weeks, so we... Huh? Hey, yeah, but you see, Mr. Johnson, with them air-cooled studios, we wouldn't mind staying here for... Huh? Yeah, I know, Mr. Johnson, but... Well, let Wilson and Nesbitt advertise Carnu and let us handle Gloco. Or let them have the Gloco and we'll put on a show for Carnu. Yeah, but Mr. Johnson, we can't get our suitcase unlocked. Mr. Johnson!
I suppose a woman gets as big a thrill out of a glistening new refrigerator as a man does out of a new car. It's not only a great convenience, but it's a thing of beauty in the kitchen. And it's well worth that extra care you're being asked to give it right now. I'd like to suggest that in addition to things like proper defrosting and oiling, you also protect the beauty of that gleaming finish. How? Why, with a coat of genuine Johnson's wax, paste or liquid. The same wax you use to protect your floors, furniture, and woodwork. Johnson's wax guards the finish against moisture and dirt, keeps it spotless, easy to clean. This is just one of the 100 extra uses for Johnson's wax in your home. To take better care of your things and make them last longer, try waxing them. Your windowsills, Venetian blinds, lampshades, picture frames, shoes, and luggage. You'll be surprised how much work you save, too, because the wax polish resists dust and dirt. Genuine Johnson's wax is available everywhere in paste, liquid, and cream form.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all want to thank you for another wonderful year. And goodbye till next September.
Yes, we know you're going to enjoy the Johnson Wax Summer Show with Meredith Wilson and John Nesbitt and Harlow Wilcox. And we hope that... McGee, what are you doing with my best perfume?
Spray in the audience.
Yeah, but what for?
Well, you know what George M. Callahan says. Always leave him smelling when you say goodbye.
No, dearie. He didn't say smelling. He said smiling.
He did? Oh, excuse me. Good night.
Good night, doll.
Always leave it smelling. It didn't stink.
Fibber McGee and Molly programs are short-waved each week to our armed forces throughout the world. This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax Finishes for home and industry, inviting you all to be with us again next Tuesday night when we present a new and distinctive program featuring Meredith Wilson and John Nesbitt. This program has reached you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company. Most of us have said, home is the hunter, home from the hills. Only these hunters weren't hunting, they were fishing. And they weren't in the hills, they were sitting in a rowboat. Anyway, they're home. Yes, activity has returned to 79 Wistful Vista in the well-rounded forms of Fibber McGee and Molly.
Oh, my goodness, McGee, am I glad to be home.
Ah, me too. Well, you unpack while I take all the films down to the drugstore. I think these are going to be the best snapshots I ever took, Molly.
You ever took?
Yeah.
You made me take all of them.
Oh, Molly.
Now, listen, if there's a picture of me in that lot, it's because I was reflected in your wet bathing suit.
Gee whiz, Molly, you know I'm no good with a camera.
You're no good behind it, but, oh, brother, you're a regular glamour boy in front of it.
Am I really? You ain't just saying that because you admire me.
Look, sweet, I'm a busy woman. Now go away. Get out of my hair. What there is left of it after 13 weeks away from a beauty parlor.
Okay, I'll run along. Hey, did you take that last roll out of the camera?
No, I didn't have the camera. You were carrying it.
I was? Why, I laid it on that little shelf over the seat when... Oh, my gosh.
What?
I left the doggone camera on the train.
Oh, fine.
Oh.
You know, you're a lot of fun to travel with, dear.
Yeah, but Molly, you know...
I never know what you're going to do next.
Oh.
And a good thing, too. If I knew, I'd never leave the house.
Yeah, but what am I going to do about the camera?
Well, what was the last picture you took?
It was the one you took of me making like I was a cowboy on that stuffed horse.
Well, in that case, I'd just leave the camera on the train. Maybe they'll never find out who it belongs to, I hope.
No, sir. I sold 27 subscriptions to Nasty Confessions to win that camera. And I'm going to get it back.
Oh, forget it. Buy a new one.
I thought you said we ain't supposed to buy anything we don't really need. You said the government has asked us to try and...
All right. You win, dearie. Call the railroad and see if the camera's been turned in.
What was our berth number again?
Lower 8.
Lower 8.
And if everybody sleeps as badly in it as I did, there should be a lower 8.
Molly, that's a pun.
It may be a pun, but it was no joke. Which reminds me, I want to get to bed early tonight and see how that nightmare turned out.
Now, let me see now. I'll call the railroad, ask for the lost and found department, and tell them there's a camera on my seat.
Well, they'll probably tell you a better way to carry it is over your shoulder. But go ahead and call them.
Okay, hand me the phone.
Oh, heavenly days, we got company. And I'm ashamed to have anybody see this dusty house.
Oh, don't be so fussy. You've been using Johnson's wax so long, a speck of dust looks like a sandstorm. Come in.
Hello there, kids. Welcome home.
Oh, for goodness sake. Hello, Mr. Oldtimer.
I'm afraid you got the advantage of me, Bud. Who are you?
What you mean, Johnny? You remember me?
No, I don't think so. Your voice is familiar, but your face is strange.
Look, you're Fibber McGee, ain't you?
No.
What?
No. Everybody says that since my vacation, I'm simply a different person. I don't know who I am.
That's creepy, Johnny. That ain't the way I heard it.
Oh, my, here we go again.
When I heard it, one feller says, t'other feller says, why don't somebody get that feller Hitler? Don't worry, says t'other feller. Sooner or later, every house painter is bound to kick the bucket. Kick the bucket. Bucket. Have a nice vacation, kids.
You bet you, old-timer. We had a little shack up on Lake Hatsapuchi.
How's it up there, kids? Kind of crowded?
Simply humming with mosquitoes. And what have you been doing this summer, Mr. Oldtimer?
Working in a defense plant, daughter.
Oh, how'd you get that job?
Well, sir, I answered an ad, Johnny.
Yeah?
Seems they wanted a man with vision. A man people could look up to and one that could still keep a down-to-earth attitude. And I got the job.
Doing what?
Testing parachutes. I'll drop in here someday and tell you about it. Well, glad you're home, kid. See you later.
Well, I hope you can keep the job. It's nice to know you'll always have a roof over your head.
Yeah, he's just... Oh, hey, the camera. Give me the phone.
Here.
Thanks. Hello, operator. Give me the Atlantic and Frantic Railroad office in the Ipswich... Oh, is that you, Mert? How's every little thing, Mert? Is, huh? Yeah, nice vacation. What's that, Mert? Your brother from Montana? Working in the government garage, eh? Oh, geez. You still got that beautiful collie dog?
What's he doing in a government garage with a collie dog?
Jeep hurt him.
Oh.
Oh, well. First show, we're trying. What's Amer? Okay, put 'em on. Hello, Atlantic and Transit Railroad? Look, there was a camera on my seat and... Yeah, I know it's better to carry it over your shoulder. But that ain't it. Now, wait a minute. I left it on the train this morning when I got off.
You know, I'm almost glad you left the camera on the train, McGee. I love railroad stations. Whenever I smell train smoke, I want to go someplace.
Yeah, me too, someplace else. Hey, I wonder where the lost and found department is.
Well, we just want the lost department. We haven't found anything.
Just call it that because you go there when you've found you've lost something.
Oh.
I'll ask the guy at the information desk. Hey, Bud. Hey, you. 4F.
Speaking to me, sir?
Yes, we are. Are you the information man?
Well, sir, it's a funny thing about that. Everybody asks, am I the information man? I always say, well, if I'm not the information man, what am I doing here in the information booth? Though some people don't believe their eyes, ma'am, so they gotta ask questions like, am I the information man? Yes, ma'am, I am.
Well, look, Gabby. I left my camera on the train this morning, and I want to see if it's been turned in. Where's the lost and found department?
Well, sir, it's a funny thing about that. Everybody asking for the lost and found. So many people leaving things on train. And my sister left a box of cheese sandwiches on the train once. Was doing a heat spell, so they found them all right. The second door down the hall.
Well, thank you. What time do they close?
Well, sir, it's a funny thing about that. They used to keep the lost and found department open 24 hours a day, but now with fewer people trying to locate lost articles, they only keep it open during business hours, regular business hours, which is okay, I guess, 5 o'clock.
You'd go around Robin Hood's barn for a shortcut, wouldn't you, Bud? How much it lies?
Come on, McGee, second door down the hall.
I'm glad that's all we had to ask that guy. He just turns his voice on and leaves it running.
No, that's right. Oh, McGee, look. Who's that over by the newsstand?
Well, as I live and breathe, but not very fast because it don't excite me much. If it ain't Abigail Uppington.
My dear Mrs. McGee, how nice to see you again. And Mr. McGee.
Hi, Uppy.
It's nice to see you again, Abigail. And what a clever little hat you're wearing.
Hat?
That's what she says, Uppy. Hat. H-A-T, hat. You know, that little cloth thing you wear on your head if your hair looks okay, and if you don't, you wear a turban.
Oh, but I don't understand. I am not wearing a hat.
Well, then what's that thing on your head?
Thing? Why, I don't believe that. Oh, my goodness, how silly of me. It's the book of the month. I've been carrying a book on my head lately to improve my carriage.
That ain't a carriage, that's a truck.
McGee, pay no attention to him, Abigail. I think it's very intelligent of you to keep trying to improve yourself, even at your age.
Thank you. But tell me, did you have a pleasant summer?
Sure did, Uppy, and I really got tan.
Really? Yeah. I always said you should be.
How about you, Abigail? Did you have a nice vacation?
Oh, I didn't go away this year, my dear. Though I did make a short tour with a little group selling war bonds.
Ah.
Every time someone would buy a bond, I permitted him to kiss me.
How'd you come out?
Mr. McGee, something must be done to stimulate people into buying more bonds. Really, I am quite discouraged. And that on top of the other horrible experience I had this summer.
Oh, what was that, Abigail?
Oh, it was that bachelor apartment building up the street from my house. Those thoughtless, rude men spent day after day, week after week, sunning themselves on the roof, wearing only bathing trunks. Oh. I was shocked and horrified, really.
They still doing it, Uppy?
I don't know, Mr. McGee. I gave my binoculars to the Navy. So nice to see you.
Get your camera and let's get home. I have a lot of house cleaning to do.
Who said house cleaning?
Oh, that man's here, Molly. Hi, Harlow.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox. It's nice to see you.
How are you, Molly? You're a sight for sore eyes. And look at old man McGee here. Why, you're looking swell, Pop.
Hey, don't pop me, you big hulk. You feel so young, why ain't you in school? You ducking the truant, officer?
That's how I feel, all right. Young. New lease on life. Had a wonderful summer.
Well, you really look at Mr. Wilcox. Where'd you go?
Didn't go anywhere. Didn't have to. Why do people go away? For relaxation, rest, sunshine, sports. Why, I had all those things right here.
Take it easy, Junior. You'll burn yourself out before you're 90.
Say, how'd you get all those things? Rest, sport, and sunshine without leaving town, Mr. Wilcox?
Just by working a little harder selling Johnson's self-polishing glow coat, Molly.
Subtle, ain't he, folks? Like a bull in ballet slippers.
Yes, sir. To me, there's no greater sport than battling dust and dirt and dampness with Johnson's glow coat. And it's so easy to apply. I get a good rest because it shines as it dries. And do I relax? Just to know that a kitchen linoleum can be so easily protected against dust and dirt calms my nerves. It makes me so contented, I sleep like a log.
Oh, well, how about that sunshine?
Baby, you haven't seen sunshine till you've seen the smile on a housewife's face when she takes a look at that gleaming, sparkling, glow-coated linoleum. That's why I say it's a full.
Harlow.
Eh?
Look, you're so full of pep, so full of health and everything. Can you put your hands flat on the floor without bending your knees?
Certainly.
And hold that position?
Why, sure. Watch. You mean, like this?
Come on, Molly, let's go. Hurry.
Look back, McGee. He's still doing it.
That's okay. I'll send a boy down Thursday morning to tell him he can straighten up.
I think it was kind of a dirty trick to run away from him like this.
He don't mind. He's in his favorite position, bending over looking at a floor. Hey, this must be the lost and found. Come on. Oh, hi, Bud. My name is McGee, and I left the camera on...
Sure, the camera. Now, let's see. You'd be a two-way brownie type. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if this was very camera because there's a torn place on the strap. Did yours?
Yes, and I...
That's fine. Take it along. No, you don't have to say anything. You might identify it. Well, good day to you.
Well, now, that's efficiency. And it's nice to know what type you are, dear.
Yeah, ain't it, though? Now, if somebody asks me where I stand in the draft, I can say, I'm a brownie, 2A. Well, come on, let's grab a cab and go home.
No, sir. Now, it costs us $1.25, and we can buy 5 war saving stamps for that. We'll take the streetcar.
Oh, but Molly, it makes me sick to ride facing backwards.
Well, you can get a seat facing forward.
Oh, but I like to ride facing backwards so I can see who gets on.
Oh, for goodness sakes. Make up your mind. Well, Mayor Latrivia, imagine meeting you.
Good day, Mrs. McGee. Hello, McGee.
Hi, Latrivia.
You going away?
No, just come down to the station to get my camera. Left it on the train this morning. Well, how's everything?
Splendid. Nice vacation?
Very nice, Mr. Mayor. And you?
Oh, yes. Oh, I've been very busy, of course. War bond rallies, civilian defense organizations, salvage programs.
Say, I got a great slogan for you on that salvage stuff.
Oh, please, McGee, do you have to?
I'd like to hear it, Mrs. McGee.
Oh, it's a honey. Now, just imagine a big sign on the salvage truck that reads, "We want all kinds of scrap metal, so get the lead out."
So, you had a nice vacation, did you, Mrs. McGee?
Just wonderful. You know, there's nothing as healthy as a fishing trip, and when it's McGee fishing, it's even healthy for the fish.
Well, perhaps I should take a fishing trip myself. A little incident in my office a short time ago made me quite angry. In fact, I'm highly incensed.
You are? Here, let me smell.
He means he's furious about something.
Well, maybe he put on too much of that incense and somebody started wisecracking, huh?
McGee, I have not been using incense.
Well, what if he did? Who cares? I kind of go for a good smelling shaving lotion myself. Nothing sissy about that.
Why, of course not. Besides, the atmosphere in that city hall is so stuffy that a person almost has
I
to...
tell you, Mrs. McGee, I do not use perfume of any kind.
Who said you did? Incense ain't perfume. Incense is great stuff. Keeps the mosquitoes away, too. And they got some real nice fragrances, too. Sandalwood and roses and all stuff like that there. You got mosquitoes in the city hall?
No, we have not.
Well, then why the incense?
Because incense is the only... I don't use incense. I use the word in the sense of being angry.
What were you sore at, Trivia?
The city treasurer accused me of being wasteful with public funds, and it's a downright political plot. I have been the most economical mayor this city has ever had.
Well, maybe he was referring to the incense. Now, did you pay for that out of your own pocket?
Of course I did. I mean, no, I did not. There wasn't any incentive.
Now. First you say there was, and then you say there wasn't. We don't care for trivia. You can talk plain to us. Shucks. Incense is a trivial item. I can get you all you want for 4 bits. What fragrance you like?
I don't like any. I hate incense. I don't want it around.
Well, I shouldn't think you would after that incident in your office.
Anyway, if it's just to chase mosquitoes, a little punk could do just as well.
That's fine. You've got the job. Be in my office in the morning. I never thought you.
Well, McGee, riding home on the streetcar didn't hurt you any, did it?
No, I even kind of enjoyed it a little bit in spots. Hey, where'd you say them other rolls of film were?
In the box with your fishing tackle upstairs in the hall. Say, wait a minute. I'll go get them for you.
Oh, no, don't you get them. I'll get them. Oh, no. Okay. Ah, there's a woman for you. Tired as she is, she still runs upstairs to get something for me. I'd never let her do it if I didn't know she was happy to do it. I'd do anything to make her happy. Why, she's the good... Now, woman. Come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hello there, little girl. Well, I haven't seen you in a long time. What you been doing all summer?
Oh, gee, we've been awful busy, mister, me and Willie, too.
Yeah?
We got real savage.
About what? I says, what'd you get savage about?
Oh, about 2 tons, I betcha.
2 tons of what?
Savage.
Well, what made you savage?
Oh, we didn't make it. We just collected it. In Willie Cooper's social wagon.
Damn, I
You collected
2 tons of...
Hey, you by any chance mean salvage?
No.
Huh? I says, by any chance you mean salvage?
No, not by any chance. We collected it on purpose. And gee, were they glad to get the radiator off my daddy's car. They said it was almost all copper.
Well, that was pretty generous of your father to give him his car radiator.
Oh, he didn't know we took it.
Oh.
No, he had it off to get it fixed, and Willie and I didn't know what it was, only we knew it was metal, and the government needs metal, so we took it.
Well, I hate to ask this, but what happened when your father found out? When you did it, did you get a whipping?
You sound just like Red Skeleton, mister. Except that you haven't got red hair and dimples, and he's funnier.
Oh, he is, eh? I says he is, eh?
Is what?
Red Skeleton is funnier than I am.
I know it.
Now, look, sis, I'm busy. I got to take some films down to the drugstore. What do you want, anyway?
Well, I just wanted to ask you, mister, can I play in your sand pile? Can I, please, mister? Can I?
What do you mean, my sand pile? I haven't got any sand pile.
Oh, you have to. You're fooling me.
No, I haven't.
Yes. You got a dandy sand pile right back of the garage.
Right in back of the... Hey, that ain't a sand pile. That's my victory garden. Now you go away. Beat it. Scram.
Okay, mister, but you'll be sorry you treated me like this someday when I grow up and be a big movie actress and wear pretty bathing suits in the Sunday paper and marry Walter Pigeon. You'll be sorry.
Silly kid. Doesn't even know Walter Pigeon is already married to Mrs. Miniver.
Well, here's your film series, and on your way back to the drugstore now.
Come in.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee. Welcome home.
Oh, Mr. Wimple.
Hi, Wimple, old man. How you feeling?
Oh, not bad, Mr. McGee. Except I'm a little sore up here.
Oh. Did you break your collarbone or something, Mr. Wimple?
Oh, no. I just went and got tattooed. See?
Oh, my gosh, a rabbit. What'd you get a rabbit tattooed on there for, Wim?
I thought Sweetie Face would like it.
Oh.
She's often said she wished I had a little hair on my chest.
How is Sweetie Face, Mr. Wimple?
Oh, I guess she's all right, Mrs. McGee. Though she's mad at me right now, and I didn't mean it that way at all.
You didn't mean what way?
What I said at breakfast yesterday,
The night before, she'd gone to bed with a sick headache, and when she came down to breakfast, I said, "How do you feel, horrible?" Meaning, of course, how do you feel, horrible? Was she ever angry?
Well, what'd she do?
Oh, she picked me up by one wrist and one ankle and twirled me around, and then everything went black.
You mean you were knocked out?
Oh, no. Sweetie Face had thrown me into the coal bin. Tell me, did you have a nice summer?
Sure did, Wimp. Say, you know, you ought to get away yourself for a while. It'll do you good.
Why don't you do that, Mr. Wimple? Take a few weeks in the woods.
Oh, I couldn't afford it, Mrs. McGee. I could have once, but not now.
You had dough at one time, Wimp?
Oh, yes, indeed. At one time, I had more folding money than I knew what to do with.
Oh, and what happened?
It folded. Well, I'm glad you're home again. I'd like to stay a while, but I promised Sweetie Face I'd come home and practice for the Army.
Practice what?
Maneuvers. Oh. Sweetie Face straps me in a baby carriage at the top of the stairs and gives it a push.
Wow.
She says if I ever get into the Army, she wants me to know how to drive a Jeep. But if I...
Poor little fella.
Well, he shouldn't ought to be so meek about everything. He's got all the sparkling personality of a torn sock.
Well, just the same, she'll drive him to desperation sometimes.
He'll probably go fling himself under the wheels of a passing roller skate. Well, I'm off to the store, Molly. Where's those films? Oh, here they are.
Did you take the roll out of the camera?
Gee, I didn't at that. Give me the camera.
I haven't got it. You had it.
I did? I wonder what it... Oh, my God.
What?
I left it on the streetcar.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're
not an expert financier. I'm just a housewife. Roast. And when the Army needs the roast more than we do, we'll have macaroni.
I don't care for macaroni.
McGee, if it's going to help the government, you'll eat macaroni and like it.
With tomatoes?
Why not?
That's all right, then. On macaroni, tomatoes are good.
Now, where was I? Oh, yes. Well, I just wanted to say to you other housewives and you men who sit in the living room and read the paper while we girls do the dishes, that if we put our minds to it, we can strangle a post-war depression with our own apron strings. We can avoid most of the mess we had after the last war by backing up our government right now. We've got to pay our bills and not buy anything we don't need. We've got to pay no more for things than the price Uncle Sam has set for those things, and ask our merchants to post those prices where we can see them.
Hey, incidentally, I just got a bill from the milkman.
I paid it. Now be quiet.
Okay.
And in order to help pay for this war and provide a cushion for ourselves after this war, there's no better investment than war bonds. Remember, V for victory, and if you know your alphabet, you know the only way to reach V is through you.
Good night.
Good night. War bonds. Remember, V for victory, and if you know your alphabet, you know the only way to reach V is through you.
Good night.
Good night.
The Johnson Wax program with Fibber McGee and Molly. Makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with It's Fun to Be Free. Why do you say it's my duty to conserve my things, make my chairs and icebox and linoleum last longer? I had a lady ask me that question last week. Maybe it's been in your mind, too. Well, the answer is simple. Making an icebox or a chair or a piece of linoleum takes materials and labor.
servicing them takes labor, too. Now, is it more important for these materials and man-hours to be used in making articles for your home or planes and tanks and ships? Well, the answer is really simple. That's why the government and businessmen both keep telling us, take better care of the things you have, make them last. And that's why I add, wax your things to make them last longer, to protect them against wear. There are over 100 uses for Johnson's wax in your home. Your floors, furniture, woodwork, your leather goods, enameled surfaces, windowsills, lampshades. Wax them for protection, for beauty, for labor saving with genuine Johnson's wax polish. Things at 79 Wistful Vista have settled down to the usual. And here in the living room... Oh, excuse me. There's the phone for either Fibber McGee or Molly.
Answered, McGee. It's probably for you.
You answered, it's probably for you. I'm way ahead in this game, and I think I can beat this guy.
What guy?
Me. I'm playing solitaire. Now, let me see. The red ace can go...
Oh, dear. 79 Wistful Vista, Molly McGee speaking. Who? Well, heavenly days, Otis Cadwallader.
Oh, it's Cadwallader. Why, what's he doing? What does he want?
Where are you, Otis? At the railroad station. Well, can't you drop out and see us a few minutes?
If that guy steps one big foot in our front door, I'll pin his ears back so far he'll have to wear a snooze.
Oh, I'm so sorry you can't come out and see us, Otis. Next time you come through Wistful Vista, plan on staying a few days.
Hey, cut that out. Tell him to climb back on that train. They never start without a jerk anyway.
Yes. Well, it was so sweet of you to call, Otis. It really was. McGee's going to be terribly disappointed that he didn't see you.
Oh, I can master my grief, baby.
Yes, Otis, and thank you so much for calling. Yes, have a nice trip. Goodbye.
I hope he has a nice trip at the top of a flight of stairs. Love. Out of 130 million people in this country, he has to call us up.
Oh, stop it, dearie. Otis is a very nice boy, and you know it. He was one of your friends in high school.
He was just a casual acquaintance. I only knew him not to speak to. Rat.
Well, I think it was very nice of him to call us up. You're just jealous of him because he used to be one of my boyfriends.
I ain't either jealous. Him and his raccoon coat and stuffed bear cat. His old man was worth $1 million. What did he have that I didn't have?
A raccoon coat, a stuffed bear cat, and $1 million.
He was a dirty little snob, and you know it. I despise that guy.
Well, stop scowling at the telephone, calm yourself.
Okay, but don't invite him out here. Ever. I don't want him around.
McGee, for goodness sake, don't get so wrought up.
Well...
You know Otis doesn't mean anything to me.
Well...
But I had to be polite to him, didn't I?
Well, yeah. But I don't have to be polite to him. That fool could be in the army right now, except the wolves don't belong in the foxhole. And besides that...
Oh, my goodness, I wonder if he changed his mind and came out for a while. How does my hair look?
He won't remember your hair. He can't even remember his own. Let him in and I'll go to work on it.
When you answer the door, McGee, I'll run up and change my dress.
Hey, don't change your dress just right. Hey, Mom! If this is Cadwallader, I'll put the chill on him so fast he'll go out of here on snowshoes. Come in. Now, look here, Cadwallader.
Hi, mister.
Oh. Hi, sis.
Gee, what you looking so mad about, mister?
I was expecting to welcome an unwelcome visitor.
Who?
Oh, just an old acquaintance.
Oh.
And if anybody asks you, should our old acquaintance be forgot? In this case, the answer is yes.
Why?
Because in this case, sis, the old acquaintance is adrift with the first water. Frankly, he's a character which would steal the raisins out of your rice pudding.
Oh. I wouldn't care. I don't like raisins.
Oh, you ought to like raisins, sis. They're full of iron. Don't you know the human body couldn't survive without minerals?
Sure. Everybody's stuck full of minerals. My daddy says my mama has a heart of gold. Uncle has a brassiest man he ever knew.
You old man better lay off the wisecracks, sis. One of these days he'll hear somebody's knuckles knocking on his front teeth.
Oh, yeah? My daddy isn't afraid of you, I bet you. He says you'd be a sucker for a left hook.
Oh, is that so? Well, you tell that old man of yours...
Hey, listen. He used to be a prize fighter, he did.
Oh, he did. he did. Well, you tell that old man of yours that I know he's just kidding. I can take a joke.
I got one.
You got what?
A joke?
Is it fit for my ears, sis?
Well, it's a big joke, if that's what you mean.
Okay, well, huh? Oh, well, go ahead. Probably won't be any worse than we'll hear in the next 20 minutes anyway.
Okay, you ready?
Ready.
Why are fire engines red?
Well, Miss Bones, why are fire engines red?
Because 2 times 6 is 12. There's 12 inches in a foot. A foot is a ruler. Queen Mary was a ruler, and Queen Mary was a boat. A boat crosses the ocean. The ocean is full of herring. Herring rhymes with Goering. Goering is a Nazi. The Russians chase the Nazis. Russians are red. Fire engines are always Russian, so fire engines are red, I betcha.
Times 6 is 12, 12 is a dozen, 6 dozen herrings across the ocean. 2 times 6 is 12, 12 men on the jury, fire engine goes rushing past, Goering is a herring.
McGee, what are you muttering about?
Oh, I'm just trying to remember something, all. Hey, are you sure Otis Cadwallader isn't coming out here tonight?
Quite certainly. His train was leaving in 10 minutes. Say, I hope he doesn't think we brushed him off.
I don't care what Cadwallader thinks. If he does, which I doubt. When brains were passed out, he must have been behind the door. That guy's got such a low forehead, he uses his mustache for eyebrows.
Now, he isn't so bad. In fact, he was voted the handsomest man in the senior class, you remember?
Sure, I remember. And who counted the votes? The class secretary. And who was the class secretary? Otis Cadwallader. Muzzler.
My goodness, what are you so bitter about? I don't remember that Otis ever did anything to you.
Well, I just don't like him.
Well, I gathered that. But he's probably miles away by this time, so shall we go to a movie or something?
Well, that's a good idea. What's at the Bijou?
Pride of the Yankees.
Didn't know they had any pride left.
Well, they balanced the bill with Abbott and Costello. There are a couple of cars.
Are you dumping them in there tonight? Well, where do I get my hat?
Oh, dear, peek out and see who that is.
Mrs. Upton.
I wonder what she wants.
I don't know. Might as well invite her in. She'll stand out there till the cows come home, and I'm in no mood for milking. Come in.
Oh, well, if it isn't Abigail Uppington. Hello, Abigail, dear.
How do you do, Mrs. McGee? And Mr. McGee?
Hi, Uppy. Won't you take a chair and let your hip hooray?
Thank you, Mr. McGee. I can't stay but a moment.
Fine.
I just wanted to tell you how sorry I was that you couldn't come to my party last night. It was my birthday, you know.
Oh, McGee, do you hear that? Yesterday was Abigail's birthday.
Well, what do you know?
Why, I just can't imagine you a year older, Abigail.
Thank you.
Many happy returns, Uppy. I'm sorry I wasn't there to sample those birthday cakes.
Cake, Mr. McGee. There was only one.
You mean they got all those candles on one cake? How old would you say Abigail was, McGee?
Well, I was looking at her reflection in the mirror just now, and I said she was about 27.
Oh, Mr. McGee. Isn't he sweet, my dear? 27.
Of course, in a mirror, everything is reversed, so 27.
Well, I hope we'll be able to come to your next party, Abigail. So many of our friends...
Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of your friends, guess who called me up from the railroad station this evening to say hello?
Not Otis Cadwallader.
Oh, my gosh. Do I have to hear about him again? Take my advice, Uppy, and don't have anything to do with that linthead. He's poison.
Oh, really, Miss McGee? I've met Mr. Cadwallader. I consider him a very charming gentleman. From a fine old family, too.
I always thought so, too, Abigail.
Fine old family, my clavicle. They're selling his family tree in the petrified forest for 2 bits a hunt. Oh, this is the only sap that didn't congeal.
Now, take it easy, McGee. Take it easy and open the door for Mr. Duffington if you must go, Abigail.
Yes. I just wanted to say that we missed you last night.
Incidentally, Uppy, not that I want to be inquisitive, but how many candles were there on that cake?
Well, it was strictly in accordance with the conservation program, Mr. McGee.
Oh.
No one, you know, is supposed to go over 35. Goodbye.
You know, McGee, I'm very fond of Abigail in a cautious kind of way.
Yeah. But remember how she was always kind of incinerating that we were unfit to associate with.
You mean insinuating here?
I don't either. Insinuating means something that makes something reasonable, like insinuating circumstances.
That's extenuating.
Go on. Extenuating means sticking out.
Oh, you're thinking of extending.
Well, then what does incinerating mean?
Burning.
Well, that's what I said. You always had me burning the way she used to incinerate, that we weren't the kind of people that were fit to extenuate.
Hello, folks. Say, I've got some news for you.
You have, Mr. Wilcox? What is it?
If you mean that new mustache of yours, Junior, it's no news. I saw it last week. Just barely.
I think it's very becoming on you, Mr. Wilcox.
Thanks, Molly. But about my news. I was downtown a little while ago to see the freight agent about a shipment of Johnson's self-polishing glow coat from Racine.
I bet you told him how it was so easy to apply and saved hours of housework and was particularly important right now when it's our duty to conserve and preserve things because it gives new life to linoleum.
McGee, quiet.
But he's right, Molly. How'd you know I told the freight agent that, Fibber?
You tell everybody. You're a regular old gossip about glow coats. Can't you think of anything else? Baseball, golf, the latest books, or football?
Ah, football. That's for me. Football is my bitch.
Molly, he has his human side.
Oh, you like football, Mr. Wilcox?
I love it. Why, when those little tabs come trooping into the house after an afternoon of football in a dirty corner lot, think how easy it is for Mother to simply wipe up those muddy footprints with a damp cloth. If the kitchen linoleum has been protected with Johnson's glow coat. Why, I think football is the greatest character building.
Whoa, Junior, whoa. I'm sorry I brought it up.
Say, what was the great news you had for us, Mr. Wilcox?
News? Oh, well, when I was talking to the freight agent, who do you suppose got off the train? Otis Cadwallader.
Cadwallader again. There's the guy I strictly despise, Wilcox.
You do? I always liked Otis myself. What's the matter with him?
Oh, he is nice. McGee's just jealous of him, Mr. Wilcox.
Doggone it, I am not jealous. I don't like him because he's too egotistical. Always talking about himself. It's I all the time. I don't trust the guy whose eyes are so close together.
Okay. You don't have to like him on my account. I just thought I'd mention seeing him.
Well, it was nice of you to tell us, Mr. Wilcox. Say, would you care to go to the movie with us?
I'm sorry, but I can't, Molly. Thanks. I'm meeting my wife at the beauty parlor.
Oh, is she getting a permanent?
No, she's going to pick me up there. I'm having my mustache trimmed.
Oh.
Go on.
Now, he looks pretty good with a mustache at that.
Yeah, but I don't know why women like men who wear them. Personally, I don't like to be kissed and brushed off at the same time. Now, come on, get your hat and let's go.
Okay, the window's all locked?
Yeah, well, maybe I better go and see. Even though our sugar is in the jar marked soft, you never can tell when somebody might... Oh, dear, come in.
Hello there, kids. Hey, I just seen a friend of yours down in the depot. Fellow named Titus Oldtimer.
Yes, we know, Mr. Oldtimer. Thank you just the same. And his name is Otis Cadwallader.
And his name is Mud for my money. And he's no friend of mine, Oldtimer. I haven't got any use for him.
That so? Seemed like a genteel young fellow to me, Johnny. Fine, nice-spoken man.
I always thought so, too.
Sure. He's a nice-spoken guy. It's always the clunks that haven't got anything to say that are so careful how they say it. Give me a guy that works things out.
That's the kind they gave me.
Well, I'm sorry, kid. I knew you knew this feller, so I thought I'd let you know.
Well, it was very nice of you to tell us, Mr. Oldtimer, but he called us up from the station.
Yeah, and I hope the thread broke when he tried to pull his nickel back, too. Cheap tin horn sport.
You really got a hate on for him, ain't you, Johnny?
He gets under McGee's skin, Mr. Oldtimer. And if you'll notice his skin, you can see it's too tight for more than one person.
That's pretty awful, daughter. But the way I heard it is even worse. The way I heard it, one feller says, t'other feller says, that Fibber McGee and Molly program, is that weekly? Well, says t'other feller, kinda. Just kidding, of course, Johnny. Grandpa enjoys your show a lot.
What does your grandfather do, old-timer?
He's a crystal gazer, Johnny.
Oh, you mean he tells fortunes?
No. He just gazes at his crystal and says, I don't hear these programs as clear as I used to. Maybe I better get me a battery set.
Amen. Attention. Forward. March. In the Army or the Navy, from Alaska to Suez, in the Marines or in the Air Corps, every man has a message for you fellas at home. Here is what he says. Please won't you leave my girl alone? Please won't you leave my girl alone? I'm far away in the Army and she is all I've got. I'm far away in the Army and though she cares a lot. I'm far away in the Army and you're Johnny on the spot. Please won't you leave my girl alone? Mary Lou, that guy next door to you, I'm writing him a big long letter. I know him and he knows you, but I don't want him to know you any better. Now all you 3A's and 4F's, be careful what you do. If you stay away from my girl at home, then I'll agree that when I see that mademoiselle from Armentières, I'll bring her back to you. A mademoiselle from Armentières, parlez-vous. Inky-dinky parlez-vous. Every time I forward march, I march another mile away. So buddy, if you're a buddy of mine, then all that I can say is please won't you leave my girl alone. She hasn't got a heart of stone. I'm far away in Australia, and she's my guiding star. While I'm away in Australia, don't care anything too far. Remember, I'm in Australia, thanks to her and FDR. Please, won't you leave my girl alone? Please note my very gentle tone. She's mighty full of devotion, 'cause I'm the only one. Says who? Now don't be getting a notion that something can be done. Says you. Remember, when I come marching home, I'm coming with my gun. Says me. Now will you leave my girl alone?
Somebody at the door, McGee. We never will get to the movie this way. I wonder who this is.
Probably some other busybody to tell us they saw old worm-faced Cat Waller at the station. Come in.
Oh, Mayor Latrivia.
Good evening, Mrs. McGee. I won't stay but a minute. I see you were going out. Hello, McGee.
Hi, Latrivia, old man. You come for some advice about running the city or something? Well, sir, in the first place, our water system.
No, I don't need any of your advice, McGee. I merely want an opinion.
Well, he's just as free with opinions as he is with advice, Mr. Mayor. Give the mayor an opinion, dearie.
Why, certainly. Now, my opinion of our traffic lights, Latrivia.
That isn't what I want an opinion on, McGee. Would it be too much to ask for you to keep quiet a moment?
What is it, Mr. Mayor?
I want to start a citywide, yes, a statewide campaign against hoarding. I want to tell our citizens that we've got a hard and bitter war ahead of us. And it's got to be one for all and all for one and not every man for himself.
That's very good. And my opinion...
I want to tell our people that it's not only unpatriotic, but downright stupid to rush out and load up on things every time there's a rumor of a shortage or news of rations. Hoarding sometimes causes a shortage of things that otherwise might be plentiful. If we're going to do our fair share in this fight, we've got to take only our fair share of available commodities.
Well, I think you're perfectly right, Mr. Mayor.
You think that message all up by yourself, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, I did, McGee. I have a knack for that sort of thing, you know.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Oh, for me, it's quite simple, Mrs. McGee. As easy as kicking a little puppy off the sidewalk.
What, you did?
Did what?
What kind of a puppy was it?
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Mr. Mayor. A man in your position, kicking a little dog around like that.
I didn't kick any dog.
Well, puppy then. After all, a puppy is a
But
dog.
I didn't kick any puppies. I merely used it as an illustration of how easy it was to do something.
Well, all I gotta say is any man who finds it easy to kick a poor little puppy...
But I didn't kick any puppies. There wasn't any puppies. It was just an expression.
I'll bet his expression was pretty pathetic when you kicked him, too. To me, a man who doesn't love dogs...
But I do love dogs. I have 3 dogs of my own. I wouldn't harm the hair of a dog's head.
We didn't say you kicked him in the head. That would be too brutal even for you. Now, we won't report this incident to the SPCA, but in the future, if I ever hear you kicking a puppy off the sidewalk...
I tell you I didn't kick any puppy. I'm not a man who goes about mistreating animals, and I resist...
Oh, so you don't consider kicking a puppy mistreatment?
Of course it is.
Ah, then you admit it.
Certainly. No, I don't. I admit that kicking a puppy is mistreatment, but I don't admit that I have descended... Never mind. Let me out of here.
Where are you going?
I'm going out and find a puppy and kick it off the sidewalk!
You think he really is?
Of course not. The Trivia's a very tender-hearted guy. He wouldn't do that.
I guess you're right. Well, come on, let's go to the movie.
Oh, we can still get good seats.
Oh, that's what you said the last time. And we sat so far back in the balcony, Hop-along Cassidy looked like he was riding a mouse.
Okay, I'm ready. What night is this at the Bijou? Prosperity Club, bingo, free dishes, or door prize?
None of them. This is the night they have the good pictures.
Well, let's go. I want to...
Well, I guess fate doesn't want us to see a movie tonight. Come in.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee.
Oh, hi, Wimp.
Hello, Mr. Wimple. We were just going out to the movie. You want to go with us?
Oh, thank you ever so much, but Sweetie Face doesn't approve of me going to the movies without him.
Oh, come on. You're of age, Wimp.
Why did she object, Mr. Wimple?
Oh, she says I always get in some kind of trouble. Last time I got so excited at a picture, I swallowed the tires in my caramel popcorn.
Heavenly days, what was it?
I think it was a little bitty whistle, Mrs. McGee. Because every time I coughed, a boy would hand me a newspaper or a taxi cab full of it. And once a girl slapped my face. Oh, was I ever embarrassed, I'll say.
Say, look, why don't you call your wife and ask her to go to the movies with us, Mr. Wimple?
Oh, thank you, Mrs. McGee, but this is Sweetie Face's class night. She's teaching a regiment of commanders how to fight dirty.
With a knee in your back and a thumb in your eye, eh, Wimp? Where'd she ever learn those tactics?
Oh, she just picked them up. She goes to all the Dollar Day sales. But say, I almost forgot.
Forgot what, Mr. Wimple?
What I came in here for. I met a man at the railroad station who wanted me to give you his regards. His name was Otis
Cadwallader. That guy again. That snake. That weasel. That dirty little snout.
Oh, my goodness. Doesn't he like Mr. Cadwallader, Mrs. McGee?
Well, what do you think?
Wimple, if you ever mention that nincompoop's name to me again, so help me, I'll choke you with your own spinal cord.
What did you say, Sweetie Face? I mean, Mr. McGee. My goodness. What did he ever do to you?
Well, he didn't do anything, Mr. Wimple. McGee has always been jealous of Otis.
I am not jealous. I just don't like him. I despise him. I hate him.
But why?
Yes, I'm beginning to wonder that myself.
Well,
What is all this raving and ranting? Why do you hate Otis Cadwallader so much?
well,
Well, why?
I borrowed $10 from him once and never paid it back.
I hear so many women wishing they could be doing something more to help in the war. I usually ask them, are you feeding your family good, nourishing food to keep them healthy and strong for war work? Are you keeping yourself and your home attractive? Are you cooperating with the government in things like salvage and taking good care of your things? If you are, don't worry, you're helping a great deal. Because if each of us keeps his own house in order, the whole country moves forward. At this point, may I suggest that one easy way to take better care of your things is by protecting them with Johnson's wax polishes. Floors, furniture, and woodwork are not only made beautiful, they're actually safeguarded by occasional waxing. Wax your windowsills, too, and your shoes and luggage. In fact, there are over 100 labor-saving uses for Johnson's wax in your home alone.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just got a wire from RKO telling us that our new picture, Here We Go Again, with Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Gildersleeve, Mrs. Uppington, Wallace Wimple, and Ginny Sims, will open at 9:30 a.m. Saturday morning, October 10th, in RKO Theater. Tickets are on sale now at RKO Theaters from coast to coast.
Oh, say, McGee, did they leave him that jitterbug dance I do with Otis Cadwallader?
Cadwallader, that rat, that dirty little...
McGee.
Huh?
Not now. The show's over.
Huh? Oh, well, good night.
Good night, all.
The characters of the old-timer and Wallace Wimple heard on this program were played by Bill Thompson. This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This program has reached you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Squire of 79 Wistful Vista is a man of instant decision. He decides important questions in a flash, just like that. Of course, he may not do anything about it right away, but he decides quickly. For instance, a problem has just come up that, but maybe you'd better hear about it from Fibber McGee and Molly.
So I says to myself, I says, look, McGee, I says, the country's got plenty of fuel oil and coal, I says, but they got a problem of distribution, I says, transportation. Well, I asked myself, what can I do about it personally? And that made me sore. Don't be so stupid, I says to myself.
Well, one of these days you'll get so mad at yourself you won't speak to you for days.
I almost did this time. Well, I says, looking myself right in the eye, which was kind of hard to do because there's a wobbly place in that hall mirror. Well, you got to convert our furnace back to coal burning, I says, because coal is going to be easier to get in this locality than fuel oil. So that's what I'm going to do. Where's my pipe wrench?
You didn't have a pipe wrench.
Huh?
No, you borrowed it from Mr. Toops and I gave it back to him. You never smoke a pipe anyway.
Oh, I see. I don't smoke a pipe, so you give away my pipe wrench. Well, will you permit me to keep my monkey wrench if I go out and buy a monkey?
Now, don't be ridiculous. Besides, I don't think you can change our furnace from oil to coal by yourself anyway.
Is that so? Why, it's a cinch, Mrs. McGee. Or it would be if you didn't play Mrs. Santa Claus with all my equipment. Well, I guess it serves me right for not putting a padlock on my tool chest, I guess.
You had one on it once, remember?
Huh?
And I could never get you to fix anything because you could never find the key to the padlock.
I didn't need a key. All I had to do was hit it a whack with a hammer and it'd fly open.
Well, then why didn't you do it?
I couldn't. The hammer was in the tool chest.
Look, dearie, why don't you call the Wistful Vista Furnace Company? They changed our furnace from coal to oil. They could change it back again very simply.
No, sir. I'm strictly a guy that likes to do things with his own hands. That's how I'm going to have to do it, too. Now, you've given all my tools away.
No, I didn't give them away. I gave them back. Anyway, we're getting off the subject.
What subject?
Our furnace.
What's the matter with it?
You're going to change it back from oil to coal.
I am? Who said? Oh, yeah. Well, I better get started. Hand me a cigar and the morning paper, will you?
What for?
Well, I got to read what the weather's going to be.
The paper doesn't tell what the weather's going to be, McGee. In wartime, it just tells what the weather was yesterday.
That's all right. I intended to change the furnace yesterday. Anyway, I got to sit down a while and figure out exactly what to do. You see, the efficient way to do something... Who's that?
Oh, it's probably one of the neighbors come to get his hacksaw back.
That hacksaw is mine.
Are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. The guy I borrowed that from moved away from here years ago.
Come in.
Hello there, Johnny. Hello, Johnny.
Hello, Mr. Oldtimer.
Hi, short, dark, and weather-beaten. What's on your mind?
Heard the news, kid?
Yes, we heard. St. Louis won.
Oh, I don't mean that, daughter. Circus is coming to town next week. Thought maybe Johnny here would want to go down there with me and carry water for the elephants.
Who, me? No, thanks. Never again for me. I tried it a couple of years ago.
Didn't they give you a free ticket?
Yes, they did, Mr. Oldtimer, but McGee was so tired from carrying water, he slept through the whole performance.
You guys, circuses don't thrill me anymore. I traveled with one once, you know.
You did, Johnny? What doing?
Remember that act where the guy rides the bicycle across the tight wire, 65 feet in the air, with a beautiful gal on each shoulder?
Wow, was that you, Johnny?
No, but it was my bicycle. Rented it to him for $1 a day.
That's moderately amusing, Johnny. But I heard an interesting variation of it. Variation I heard, one feller says, another feller says, he says, Mrs. Roosevelt ain't traveling as much as she used to, is she? How can she, queers other character? I hear Mr. Wilkie is borrowing your suitcase. So you don't want to go to the circus, eh, Johnny?
No, he doesn't, Mr. Oldtimer. He has work to do around the house.
I'm converting our furnace back to burning coal, old-timer.
That's so. Going back to coal for the duration, eh?
Yes, we are.
Good for you, daughter. You won't regret it. There's no fuel like an old fuel, is what I always say.
Let me see now. 43 across, 4-letter word meaning article attached to a heel. Hey, Molly.
Yes?
What's a 4-letter word meaning something attached to a heel?
Fur, that's fastened to a heel.
Oh, sure, fur. All I could think of was swastika. 72 vertical.
Say, McGee, I thought you were going to work on the furnace.
I am. I'm just getting set for it.
Does working crossword puzzles put you in the mood for it or something?
Why, certainly. Sharpens the wits, steadies the nerves, stimulates the ingenuity. Whenever I have a big job of work to do, I always start with a few crossword puzzles. Got to develop my mind along with my muscles, you know.
Well, the way you sit around on your muscles all day, you'll wind up very broad-minded. I picked that up.
Yes, sir.
Say, after you change the furnace so it'll burn coal again, you might weather strip the doors and windows too, dear. The tighter the house is, the less fuel we'll have to burn.
Ah, the windows fit tight enough.
No, they don't. Our dining room windows have a draft that would take married men with 7 children.
Okay, I'll take care of it. But I could do a better job if you didn't give away all my tools.
I didn't give them away. I merely returned them to their rightful owner.
Well, just the same.
Come in. Well, for goodness sakes, Abigail Uppington.
How do you do, my dear? And Mr. McGee?
And a warm wiggle of the pinky to you, Upsy. What do you see in the tea, kid?
I beg your pardon?
He means what goes, Abigail. What's cooking? What do you hear from the mob?
Sure. Tie a handle on the scandal. Give out what's fresh from the breast. What's the good word, Sue?
Do I gather, Mr. McGee, that you're asking me what I know that is new?
That's it, Abigail. She's Hep McGee.
Yeah.
She's no sticky little licky.
I'm afraid I don't know anything startling, my dear. But I am entering Fifi, my Pekingese, you know, in the dance show today, and I wondered if you'd care to go with me. It's for the benefit of the USO, you know.
Uppy, do you mean to stand there in the middle of your minks? You tell us that you're finally exposing little Fifi to a rude association with common canines?
I think it'll do Fifi good, McGee. She sees too much of people and not enough of other dogs.
That's exactly what I thought, my dear. It's bad enough for a person to lead a dog's life, but when a dog leads a person's life, oh, that's horrible.
I'm afraid Molly can't go with you, Uppy. I'm changing our furnace from an oil burner back to a coal burner. Fuel conservation, you know.
Well, can't you work without Mr. McGee here?
He can, but he probably won't.
Are you changing the furnace all by yourself, Mr. McGee?
Yep, with my own little chubby hands, Uppy.
My, how clever of you. Well, Fifi will be tremendously disappointed, Mrs. McGee. I'm sorry you can't go with me.
Well, I am too, Abigail, and I do hope that Fifi wins the diamond-studded pork chop or whatever the prize is.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm sure she'll take a ribbon at least.
Oh, well, don't worry about that, Uppy. A funny-looking mutt like Fifi is bound to take a little ribbon.
Please, Mr. McGee, Fifi is definitely not a mutt. She is a direct descendant of champion hook, strut, and fluff people of herd of Baltimore. And now, about your furnace, Mr. McGee.
Yeah?
Why, may I ask, do you squander your mechanical genius in converting a furnace from oil to coal when you personally have been so richly endowed by nature with a substitute for both?
What substitute?
Hot air.
Well, I've often wondered how you'd look with your ears pinned back, McGee. It's very becoming.
Boy, she was really peeved, wasn't she? Did you see her draw herself up to her full width?
Now, listen, it's about time you stopped talking about that furnace and began doing something about it. Better get into some old clothes.
You gave all my old clothes away to the Red Cross, remember? I'll put on my coveralls.
Say, I gave your coveralls away, too. You wore them fishing all summer, and they were adding no charm whatsoever to the atmosphere around here.
Well, I can't work around the furnace in my good clothes. I'll have to run downtown and get me a pair of coveralls. Got to get me a pipe wrench and some stuff anyway.
Now, don't buy all the tools in the hardware store. You don't need them. Heavenly days, I could do the job myself with a bobby pin and a stick of chewing gum.
What flavor?
Peppermint. What difference does it make? Now, hurry along so you'll be back in time for...
Hello, folks. Oh, hi, Harlow. Molly, you remember our Mr. Wilcox. He's the fellow that didn't used to have that mustache.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox. Don't mind McGee. He envied you that mustache.
I do not.
Yes, you do, you rascal. You've tried a dozen times to raise one like Ronald Coleman, and it always wound up looking like a race between two caterpillars.
Well, he looks better with a bare face anyway, Molly. And I need mine in my work.
What do you mean, Junior?
Well, I'm sensitive. And it helps me keep a stiff upper lip when I see dusty, cracked, and neglected-looking linoleum that could be given a new lease on life with the treatment of Johnson's self-polishing glow coat.
I see what you mean.
Why don't you go all the way and raise a beard, too, Wilcox?
Why a beard, pal?
So when you meet a housewife who isn't familiar with how glow coat saves hours of housework and preserves her linoleum in these times when it's so important to conserve everything we have, when you meet a gal who doesn't know how easy it is to use Johnson's glow coat, how it shines as it dries in 20 minutes or less.
But why a beard, McGee?
Well, when you meet somebody that don't know about glow coat, his face is going to fall so far he's going to need a cushion under his chin.
Well, that's a great idea, Fibber, but it isn't necessary. I don't think there is anybody who hasn't heard about glow coat.
Oh, now you just say that. Say, by the way, Mr. Wilcox, have you got a suit of coveralls that McGee could borrow?
Something in a drape shape with a reed pleat and a stuffed cuff?
No, I haven't any coveralls. Don't need them. Demonstrating glow coat is so clean and simple.
Yes, we know. McGee is converting our furnace from oil to coal, Mr. Wilcox. You know, fuel conservation.
Oh, yes. Did you check up to see which was best for this locality, Fibber?
Why, certainly I did. You think I mapped down?
Oh, at least. Well, I'll be running along now, folks. Nice to see you.
Him and his scraggly little mustache. I've drawn better mustaches than that on magazine covers. I drew one on Veronica Lake.
Oh, McGee. You gotta get busy now. We'll have a cold snap any day now, and you've got to have the furnace ready.
Okay. I'll go down to the Bonton department store and get me some coveralls.
All right, but don't be gone long. I'll go upstairs and see which windows need weather stripping.
Okay, now let's see. Let's use this down. Coveralls, pipe wrench, sledgehammer, acetylene torch, dinner bucket. In case I work late and need a midnight snack. Pair of cotton gloves. Oh, now what? Come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hello there, little girl. I can't stop and talk with you now. I got to run downtown and buy me some coveralls. I said I got to run downtown and buy me some coveralls.
Why?
Because I got a job to do and I don't want to get my clothes dirty. I'm going to convert our furnace from an oil burner to a coal burner.
Why?
Why? Is that all you can say?
No.
Well, then say something else.
Why?
Now, look, sis, I'm a busy man. I got work to do. You might almost say it's for the government.
Why?
And don't ask me why. I'll tell you why. Because the government wants people to conserve fuel.
Fuel what?
What do you mean, fuel what?
You mean if you'll do it, the government will be glad?
Sis, if there's any bad puns to be made around here, I'll make them.
What's a pun?
A pun is a play on words.
Oh, my baby brother does it all the time.
Don't give me that celery salt, sis. Your baby brother can't even talk. How could he make puns?
Well, gee, he plays on words a bit.
Now, how could your big brother play?
We put a dictionary on his high chair and he sits there and plays patty cake.
Look, sis, you better run along. I gotta go downtown.
Why does the government want you to fix your furnace, mister?
I'll break it down for you, sis. In wartime, the Army and Navy and factories need all the oil and coal they can get, you see? So the ordinary citizen has to try and use a little less.
I bet you're an awful ordinary citizen, too, I bet.
Well, I certainly... Huh? Oh, then we got a transportation problem, sis. Trains and boats are needed for hauling soldiers and supplies. So we got to cooperate and use whatever fuel is handy. And the supply of oil being a little shorter than coal, the government wants us to change over our oil burners to coal burners wherever possible. So I'm doing it. You understand?
Sure I do, I bet.
Well, good for you, sis. That's a wonderful tribute to the logical way I explain things. Natural result of clear thinking.
I know it. My daddy says you're one of the most open-minded men he ever knew.
Oh, he did, huh?
Sure. And he says it's a good thing, too. Because if anybody's mind ever needed airing out, yours does.
Hey, Molly, I'm home.
Well, for goodness sakes, McGee, what took you so long? You've been gone all afternoon.
Well, I had a lot to do. I had to buy my coveralls and some tools, and then I stopped in the Bijou Theater to see the newsreel of the World Series.
Well, even that shouldn't have taken all that time.
I know, but I stayed for 2 shows. I thought if the Yankees had one more chance, they might win. And here's my coveralls. See, they fit like a glove. And here's some canvas gloves.
I suppose they fit like a coverall. Now, look, McGee, while you were gone.
And look at the tools I bought. There.
The heavenly days. A one-man defense plan. But what I want...
Just heft this hammer once. Ain't that got a beautiful heft?
I'd like to heft your checkbook and see if that has. You don't need all those tools, dearie. Anybody would think...
Come in. Thank goodness.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee.
Hello, Mr. Wimple.
Hi, Wimp, old man. Well, you're looking good. Nice color in your cheeks. Been out for a walk?
No. I guess Sweetie Face is responsible for my cheeks being so pink. She's been teasing me.
It's because you've been blushing then, huh?
No. But all day long, Sweetie Face has been saying, "Oh, Wallace, you sweet little thing." And then she'd pinch my cheek.
With a coy little smile, eh?
No, with a big pair of pliers.
Why, Mr. Wimple, how could she do such a thing?
Oh, easily, Mrs. McGee. She takes me by the back of the neck with one hand, with the pliers in the other.
No. My wife means how could she have the heart to do it, Wimp? Or hasn't she got a heart?
Of course she has, Mr. McGee. Sweetie Face has a heart as big as all outdoors. I guess that's why she never brings it in the house.
Say, how'd your wife ever get so strong, Mr. Wimple?
In vaudeville, Mrs. McGee.
Vaudeville, eh?
Oh.
What was she, one of Power's elephants?
Oh, no. She had a wonderful act. She used to play the Carnival of Venice on the cornet with one hand and keep time on a punching bag with the other. That's where I first met her. I joined the act in Sioux City.
Oh, as a cornet player?
No, punching bag. Oh, I've got to run along now, folks. Goodbye.
I know what killed vaudeville. It was Sweetie Face.
You know, I used to love vaudeville, McGee. I never missed a performance in Peoria.
Me either. I fell in love with Eva Tangway when I was 13.
That's nothing. I wanted to marry the Weaver brothers when I was 12. It would have been bigamy, but love conquers all.
Ain't it the truth? I remember once when York and King... Oh, but hey, I got to get busy on the furnace.
Oh, yes, about the furnace, McGee.
Come in.
Oh, Mayor Latrivia. Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Good evening, McGee.
Hi, Latrivia. How's all the committees in our gritty little city?
If you mean how are things going with our municipal government, McGee, they're going splendidly. Though my interest may be short-lived.
Oh, you're not resigning as mayor.
On the contrary, Mrs. McGee, I'm seriously considering running for governor. This is confidential, incidentally.
Oh, we can keep a secret, Latrivia.
Possibly in the spring. Some of the most influential men in the state met at my house last evening to discuss the matter.
Yes, we heard them as we walked by, didn't we, dearie?
I'll say we did, Latrivia. Quite a raucous little caucus.
Really? Well, I didn't realize we were being so obtrusive. I'm sorry. But my nomination was agreed upon, nomine contra dissente.
What was that again, Mr. Mayor?
Nomine contra dissente, without a dissenting vote. It's a Latin phrase.
You mean you had to talk Latin to those guys?
Certainly not. I didn't have to.
Well, personally, if you have to consult a bunch of foreigners to see if you can run for governor,
They weren't foreigners, They were all American citizens.
Don't give us that stuff, Latrivia. If they were all Americans, you wouldn't have to talk Latin to them.
I didn't use Latin at the meeting. Would have been Greek to them.
And what's wrong with the Greeks?
Nothing. They're wonderful people.
Now, flattery won't get you any place, Latrivia. Now, what was it, Greek or Latin?
It was both. I mean, it was neither one. We only spoke English.
I think the FBI better be notified about this, Molly. When a gang of politicians have to meet secretly and talk things over in 3 different languages.
But I tell you, there weren't 3 different languages. Nobody spoke anything but English. If I'd used Latin, it would have been Greek. I mean, if anything but English would have been spoken...
Never mind, Mr. Mayor. You did right by telling us about this. If a bunch of foreigners are trying to get control of our state politics...
But they're not foreigners. I'm one of them myself, out of all.
Oh, so you admit it?
Yes. I mean, no. I mean, yes. I mean, no. I mean, I'm not a foreigner. Just because I use one Latin phrase.
Do the Greeks understand Latin?
Of course. I mean, no. Oh, I don't ever try to explain things to you people. Why do I have... Hello, McGee.
Huh?
What's that on the floor in front of you?
Where? I don't see any.
Hey, what's the idea?
Oh, nothing. Just such a pleasure to see you. Scoop!
Why, that's dirty.
Did he kick you hard, McGee?
No, but he didn't have any business kicking me at all. We were just kidding him. Him and his Latin. Can't he take a joke?
He can take it and he can dish it out, too. Now, put those shoes and your coveralls away and get washed up for supper.
No, I gotta get started to work on that furnace.
No, you don't.
Huh? I don't?
No. I called the Wistful Vista Furnace Company while you were gone, and they did it in an hour.
You mean the furnace is
It's all taken care of.
It is? Well, Simeon Norum Avunculars.
What does that mean?
That's another Latin phrase meaning I'll be a monkey's uncle. At work on the furnace, Molly.
Why?
Oh, I love to do jobs like that. I was raring to go. Why, when I get a chance to do some handiwork, every nerve in my body quivers.
I know, dearie, and I've always admired it.
My handiwork?
No, your nerve.
Oh, good night.
Good night, all.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. And by way of welcoming 45 new stations to our network, the orchestra opens the show with Great Day. Last night, while I was trying to get to sleep, a thought came to me which I believe is worth passing along. We're right now in the middle of a salvage drive, as you, of course, know. A short time ago, we had a Save Your Fats campaign and another on Share Your Car. Well, the thought I had was just this, that because we have these drives, some of the people may get the idea that in between drives, we can all relax. The truth is that all of us should keep in our minds all the time all the things we're asked to do. Don't hunt salvage today and forget it tomorrow. Put these things into your program every day. Salvage, save fat, save your tires, and take better care of the things you have. Incidentally, you'll find Johnson's Wax, with its 100 labor-saving uses, a great help in protecting your floors, furniture, woodwork, leather goods, and countless other things in your home. Well, it's a gorgeous day in Wistful Vista. There's a zing in the air. The autumn leaves are a riot of color. Just the kind of a day for a long walk in the crisp air and brilliant sunshine. The kind of a day when it's great to be alive and out in the air. Yes, sir. So here in the living room with a pile of newspapers, a very bad cigar, and a disgusted wife, trying to dope out this year's All-American, we find Fibber McGee and Molly.
Now, let me see. In the backfield, I got Sinkweets of Georgia, Kuzma of Michigan, Hillenbrand of Indiana.
McGee.
Huh?
For the last time, let's go for a walk.
Walk?
Yes, walk.
Walk.
Walk. You know, where you put one foot in front of you, and you lean forward, and then you put the other foot out. You can do it if you try.
No, I don't want to go. Hey, how do you like Howard Callahan of USC?
Oh, I love him.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've got a lock of his hair in the back of my watch. Who's Callahan?
Trouble with you, Molly, is you ain't got any sporting blood.
Well, neither of us will have any kind if we don't get out of this house now and then and get some exercise.
You used to like football.
Well, I still like football. What do you expect me to do Saturday afternoon? Sit here and wave a pennant whilst I darn socks?
Well, we hear all the games on the radio, don't we?
Oh, sure, and then we read all about them in the papers.
Sure.
Personally, my pet, I don't get much of a thrill out of an end run around the false teeth ads.
Well, anyway, I don't want to go out. I'd catch cold with my house slippers on, my sleeves rolled up, and besides...
Oh, well, I'm glad some hardy pioneer has the courage to get out in the air. Come in. Hello, Abigail.
How do you do, my dear? Thanks, Mr. McGee.
Hi, Uppy. How come you're out braving the elephants?
No, the word is elements, McGee.
Ivory is as ivory does, I always say. Where you been, Uppy, to get those roses in your cheeks and those thorns in your character?
Oh, McGee.
There was a time, Mr. McGee, when your crudities perturbed me no little. But now I've learned to take you as you are.
You have? Well, how am I?
Don't answer that, Abigail. I'll have no profanity in this house. You know, I've been trying to get McGee to go for a walk with me, but he won't go. He's holding a pigskin post-mortem.
My dear, it's simply delightful outside. Very exhilarating. Oh, goodness knows, I'm so excited anyway. I'm simply walking on air.
Well, for you, Uppy, that's quite
McGee. Why, what happened, Abigail?
My dear, congratulate me. I have just been elected president.
Well, good for you, Uppy. Go sit in the fireplace and give us a chat.
President of what, Abigail?
President of the Children of the Mayflower.
Well, heavenly days, the children of the Mayflower.
I never knew the Mayflower had any children. Was one of your ancestors a whale boat, Uppy?
The Children of the Mayflower, Mr. McGee, is composed of ladies who are direct descendants of those brave souls who landed on Plymouth Rock.
No wonder they named a chicken after Plymouth Rock. What with every old hen in the country trying to...
Be a good boy and congratulate Abigail.
Okay. Congratulations, Uppy.
Thank you.
You really deserve it, Abigail. I've often told McGee that anyone could look at you and know that you came from an old, old family.
Thank you. It is very difficult to obtain a membership in the Children, you know.
That's all.
Oh, yes, so few of us can trace our genealogy so far back.
Ah, now that's a lot of barbecue sauce, Uppy. By this time, there ought to be 5 million descendants of people who come over on the Mayflower.
Oh, really? Perhaps you are one of them, Mr. McGee.
Well, so maybe I am.
Say, maybe I am, too.
Why?
I never gave it a thought, Abigail.
It is easy to see, my dear, how little you appreciate the difficulties of tracing one's family tree. That is why being elected president of the Children was such a great honor. Really, I was quite carried away.
How, in a 10-ton truck?
Mr. McGee, I have always made allowances for you because you were a naturally uncouth person. But I will now increase your allowance. Oh, goodbye.
Why do you always have to pick on poor Abigail?
Oh, she burns me up with that blue blood mahula.
Oh, forget it. She stood on the social register for so long she can't help being a little overheated.
Well, to hear her talk, you think my family was brought over here by Frank Buck. I'll bet my ancestors go back as far as hers does.
Yeah, but how can you prove it?
Well, why should I have... Yes, I can too prove it. And I'm going to prove it.
How?
I'm going right down to the public library right now and look up the McGee.
Well, good for you. I'll go with you. It'll be a nice walk.
I ain't going to walk. I'm going to take the streetcar. I'm not going to waste time proving to that coon-faced old guinea hen that a McGee is as good as Uppington. Where's my hat?
Right in there.
Thanks. Didn't I ever straighten out that closet?
haven't you got started down to the public library yet?
I had to put that stuff back in the closet. Hey, you know what I found?
Judge Crater?
Found a library book I should have took back a long time ago.
Well, you'll just have to pay the fine. 2 cents a day, you know. When did you borrow it?
October 1927. I owe $109.50 on it.
Well, they've made no attempt to collect, dearie, so I imagine it's outlawed by now. What was the book?
Oh, some silly thing about a guy who wouldn't eat his pie.
What was the name of it?
Revolt in the Desert.
No, that was in the desert.
It was? And I don't blame the guy for not eating his pie. Probably all full of sand. Hey, I'll be at the library all afternoon anyway.
Come in.
Hello there, daughter. Hello, Johnny. Do me a favor?
Why, certainly, Mr. Oldtimer. What is it?
Glad to do it if it don't take any time on account of I got to get to the library. I'm looking up my geology.
Geology, eh?
Yeah?
You on the rocks again, Johnny?
Now, he means his genealogy, Mr. Oldtimer. He wants to prove that his family was early American.
Bet it was, daughter. We got an early American end table that's got funny-looking legs just like his.
Never mind my legs.
His legs are good enough for him, Mr. Oldtimer. All he ever uses them for is to strike matches on anyway. What was the favor you wanted?
Well, daughter, you got a nice lawn out there in front. I wondered if I could have a little grass.
Help yourself, old-timer. Take all you want. You got your own lawnmower?
I ain't gonna mow it, Johnny.
What are you gonna do?
Eat some.
Eat some grass? What's the idea?
Just a hunch I got, Johnny. I got me little cold coming on. I got to thinking. Rabbits eat grass. I never seen a rabbit with a cold. So I thought I'd eat some grass.
Well, horses eat grass, too, and I've heard a horse sneeze lots of times.
But that's different, daughter. Horse eats grass standing up. I'm going to eat it on my hands and knees. Like a rabbit.
Well, go ahead, old-timer. If you're still hungry when you finish the grass, you might go out and back and have a go at the hollyhock.
That's pretty good, Johnny. But that ain't the way I heard it. The way I heard it, one feller says, t'other feller says, this driving at 35 miles an hour is pretty dangerous, ain't it? How so, says t'other feller. Well, says the first feller, when we drove at 55, we didn't dare take our eyes off the road. Now we don't dare take them off the speedometer. Not that matters to me, kid. Me and Grandma got us a tandem bicycle.
A tandem bicycle? Well, that ought to be fun, Mr. Oldtimer.
Yes, daughter. We go every place on it. Went to the movies t'other night and seen your new moving picture. Here we go again.
Oh, how'd you like it, old-timer?
Swell, Johnny. That's the second ROK picture you made, ain't it?
Yes, it is, but it isn't ROK. It's RKO. Means Radio Keith Orkin.
Is that so? In your case, I'd have swore it was ROK.
Meaning what?
Right off the cob.
He should talk about us being corny. It's guys like him wearing collars like that help cause the rubber shortage.
Well, now, if you're going to the library, dearie, you better get started.
Okay, and I'll bet I come back here with a family tree that'll make Uppington's relatives look like enemy aliens.
Oh, I rather doubt that, dearie. I've always heard she came from an old Southern family.
Old Southern family, my clavicle. 5 jelly beans will get you 10 that she thinks Robert E. Lee was Gypsy Rose Lee's father.
Nevertheless, notwithstanding, she showed me pictures once of her family's tobacco plantation.
A likely story. The only tobacco her old man ever raised, he found on the sidewalk. Oh, my gosh, I almost forgot. I got to make a long-distance call.
Whom to?
County clerk, Peoria. Going to have him send me my birth certificate. Give me the phone.
Here.
Thanks. Hello, operator. Give me Peoria, Illinois, county clerk. And hurry. Oh, is that you, Mert?
Oh, my.
How's everyone thing, Mert? Busy. What's that, Mert? Your sister that's engaged to that sailor? Sporting an anchor on her chest, huh?
Yeah, but... Tattooed, McGee?
No, carved on her hope chest. What's that, Mert? I'll keep trying, and if I ain't here, my wife will handle the call. Okay, Mert.
You leaving now, dearie?
Yeah, here I go, laughing and scratching. And if anybody comes... Hello, folks.
Am I intruding?
Not at all, Mr. Wilcox.
Oh, hi, fella. I was just on my way to the public library. Going to look up my family tree.
You know, he's doing it to spite Mrs. Uppington, Mr. Wilcox. She was in here a while ago giving us that old Mayflower routine.
Yeah, but I got her stopped. I've often heard my mother say we had an ancestor who was a sailor with Columbus.
No, McGee.
Huh?
She didn't say that. She said your grandfather was a salesman in Columbus.
Oh, is that what it was?
Well, I think genealogy is pretty interesting. My great-great-grandmother fought with George Washington.
You mean she was in the Revolutionary Army?
Oh, no, she was his housekeeper at Mount Vernon. And she fought with him about tracking mud in on our kitchen floor. That was before they had linoleum, of course, and Johnson's self-polishing glow coat to protect and preserve it.
Ah, ain't he marvelous, folks? It's no wonder his conversation is so bright and sparkling the way he keeps working glow coat into it.
Say, was your great-great-great-great-grandmother with Washington in the Revolutionary War, Mr. Wilcox?
Oh, sure. That's when she was the most valuable to him. Because during and right after a war, you have to be particularly careful to conserve what you have and protect it in every way possible so it will ease the strain on the country's productive capacity. Buy what you need, but no more than you need. People must cooperate to cut down their excess spending, or the prices of scarce goods go up and up and up. So you've got to keep your feet on the ground.
I think I can take it from there, Junior. When you got your feet on the ground, you're liable to track in some dirt. But if you got glow coat on your kitchen linoleum, it wipes right up with a damp cloth.
McGee, let Mr. Wilcox finish.
Well, I was through, Molly. I just wanted to tell you about my great-great-great-grandmother. Poor old soul.
Why, poor old soul?
She was drowned, I understand.
Oh, how terrible.
Yes. Remember when Washington threw that dollar across the Potomac?
Yeah.
Well, Grandma tried to swim over and get it back.
You going past the library, Junior?
No, I'm not, Fibber. Sorry. And say, when you start looking up your family tree, be careful.
Why, Mr. Wilcox?
One of his ancestors might hit him on the head with a coconut. Well, I'll be seeing you.
That's pretty silly. Why should any of my ancestors be up in a tree with a coconut? So my ancestors were monkeys, were they?
Well, they could be the way you managed to get yourself out on a limb all the time.
All right. Scoff if you want to, but I'll show you. You ain't like them home. I'll bet I can trace the McGee's clear back to... Who do you think I ought to trace myself back to?
Sir Callahan.
Who's he?
He was that fit knight who was out for man or beast, remember? Now get home as soon as you can, dearie. I've got to go up and wax the woodwork in the upstairs hall.
Okay, I'll be back right away. Now, maybe I better be sure who I want to trace myself back to. Let me see now. Fibber McGee. Direct descendant of Julius Caesar. No, that's no good. People would wonder why I flunked in Latin. How about Napoleon? I didn't want any guy who was dumb enough to try and make Russia.
Necessarily so.
Come on, you brothers, gather round Parson Brown. The good folks say, come on, little children. That's so, that's so, that's so. I takes my text from page 24. Listen, you children, gather round Parson Brown. The Lord said, David, Goliath is a villain. That's so, let him go, let him go. Tell us more. Little David was small, but oh my. Little David was small, but oh my. He fought big Goliath, who lay down and died. Little David was small, but oh my. Take it, Deacon.
Well, Sir Jonah, he lived in a whale. Is death possible? I said, Jonah, he lived in a whale, and that's gospel. Now he made his home in that fish's abdomen. Oh, Jonah, he lived in a whale.
Oh, whale. Get into heaven, don't snap. For the seven live clean, don't you have no fault.
Well, now I takes a fable but with a grain of salt.
How's that, brother?
Little Moses was found in a stream. Moses was found in a stream. Floated on water till old Pharaoh's daughter, she fished him, she says, from that stream. Methuselah lived 900 years. Methuselah lived 900 years. But who calls that living when no one will give him to no one but 900 years? It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. The things that your teacher is liable to preach you, it ain't. No, it ain't necessarily so.
Well, McGee, what'd you find out at the library?
Oh, nothing. Measly little library anyway. They haven't got anything.
Well, how'd you go about it?
How would any intelligent person go about it?
That's beside the point. How did you go about
Well, actually, I was illogical. I wanted to look up my family tree, so I went and got all the reference books on trees. Hey, did you know the giant redwood, Sequoia giganticus, is probably the only
it?
tree...
Never mind about those trees. What did you find out about your family tree?
Nothing. That's the worst arranged library I was ever in. So what did I do? But I looked it up under family.
And what'd that give you?
Drew another blank. Gave me the Swiss Family Robinson and how to raise a family on $18 a week. 5 little peppers and the Rover boys and parlor games for the family circle and all stuff like that there. Not a word about the McGees.
Well, now, don't fret about it, dearie. There must be some other way to find out about it. Say, incidentally, I talked to the county clerk in Peoria long distance.
You did?
Yes, I did. And I told him to wire information on your birth certificate and any data he had about your family history.
Oh, that's swell. That'll give me something to start on. Then when old Uppingham starts giving out with that phony baloney, I can tell her...
Come in.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee.
Hello there, Mr. Wimple.
Hi, Wimp, old man. How's things?
Oh, awfully quiet, Mr. McGee. I haven't been doing much of anything.
Well, say, what do you do in your spare time, Mr. Wimple?
I enter contests. I send box tops in for things.
Ever win anything?
Once I did.
What'd you win?
Oh, a peachy big box to keep box tops in. Then, of course, I write a lot of greeting card verses, too.
Oh, and how are the greeting cards going, Wimp?
Oh, just fine, Mr. McGee. I just finished one this morning.
Well, how does it go?
It goes, I know 3 Dorothys here in town, Dorothy, Smith, and Jones, and Brown, who chanced in the USO to meet a handsome sailor from the fleet, who won their hearts and won their hands, then sailed away to foreign lands. And when he comes back, I bet we'll see 3 dots in a dash for victory.
That's very sweet, Mr. Wimple.
Oh, it's nothing real.
Well, how'd Tweety Face like it?
Oh, she isn't quite well enough for me to read to her yet, Mr. McGee.
Well enough. Is she sick, Mr. Wimple?
No, she was in a little accident.
Oh.
You see, we visited one of the camps where Tweety Faces is teaching jiu-jitsu to the Marines, and... Did I say something funny?
No. What happened?
She tried to flip a ride on the front bumper of a tank.
Go on. Those big tanks don't have any bumpers.
That's what the man with the steam shovel told her when he dug her up.
Hey, that reminds me, Molly. While I was at the library...
Oh, that's probably for you, McGee.
Okay. Yes. Oh, Postal Union? Oh, telegram for me. Who from? County clerk in Peoria.
Oh, my.
Must be about my birth certificate. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, yes. Yeah, I see. Well, I'll be... Oh, hey, what was that last line again? Oh. Okay, Bud. Thanks very much.
What was it, dear?
That's the county clerk in Peoria about my birth certificate. He said...
Oh, dear, who's that? Say, who hasn't been in yet?
Latrivia.
Oh, yeah. Come in there, Latrivia.
Good day, Mr. McGee. Hello, McGee.
Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Hi, Latrivia.
What's the matter, McGee? You look worn down a bit.
He's been studying all afternoon, Mr. Mayor, trying to trace his genealogy.
That's so. Find out what you wanted to know, McGee, or did you find something you'd rather not have known?
Oh, lay off, Latrivia. You're just like Uppington. A couple of crumbs off the upper crust sneering at the hoi polloi. You think?
Now, listen, McGee, the mayor never said a word.
I was not sneering, McGee. I merely made
Don't
remarks.
kid me, Latrivia. I know when I'm being sneered at. I can take a hint. You know what they say, a wink's as good as a nod to a blind horse.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. How did it happen?
How did what happen?
About your horse.
We haven't got a horse. We sold it.
After it went blind? Was that quite ethical, McGee? After all, if you
But,
misrepresented...
Mr. Mayor, the horse wasn't blind.
I see. Then it happened after you sold it. Well, poor animals...
Doggone it, Latrivia, we don't know anything about a blind horse. Our horse could see perfectly well.
Then you should have sold it to somebody who would take better care of it. You deliberately refused to take any responsibility.
Sure, we refused to take any. I mean, we were responsible for the sale, yes.
But the horse was not blind.
At the time of the sale.
Exactly. I mean, no. It never was blind. Now, look here, Latrivia. If you're trying to...
Never mind. Let it go.
But, Mr. Mayor...
Please, Mrs. McGee, I'd rather not discuss it any further. I came here to offer your husband a position with the city. In spite of his somewhat strange code of morality in the sale of livestock, I still offer him the situation.
What's a job and what's a pay, Latrivia?
Commissioner of Streets, and it pays $6,000 a year.
Oh.
Well, thanks anyway, Latrivia, but I can't take it.
McGee, what's the matter with you?
If it's because of that horse business, McGee, I was only joking.
It's got nothing to do with the horse, Latrivia. I just can't take the job.
But, McGee, $6,000 a year, heavenly days. Say, I'll try and talk him into it, Mr. Mayor.
The position must be filled immediately, Mrs. McGee. He must accept it or reject it now.
Oh, I reject it, Latrivia. I can't take it. It wouldn't be right.
Why not?
Because I don't want to talk about it. I'm sorry, Latrivia.
Oh, so am I, McGee. Good day.
Good day, Mr. Mayor. McGee, what's the matter with you turning down $6,000 a year? Why, it's ridiculous.
No, it isn't ridiculous.
It is ridiculous if you're the man they want.
Just this. I ain't a man.
What?
I'm not even a person.
What are you talking about?
That wire I got from the county clerk in Peoria about my birth certificate.
Yes?
Well, I don't know who you're talking to right now, but it ain't me. They got no records about me. I was never born.
Mostly on these programs, we've been talking about the uses of wax in the home. I'm sure many of you will be interested to know how Johnson's wax products are being used also by manufacturers to solve finishing problems brought on by the war. Industry has made phenomenal progress in adapting itself to war production. In this conversion, with shortages of certain familiar materials, there has come a need for new protective wax coatings and finishes. Many of these have been developed and are being supplied by S.V. Johnson & Son. They include waxes which make textiles water-repellent and stain-resistant, now widely used for soldiers' uniforms and outdoor clothing. Rust-inhibiting waxes for metal surfaces. Also, protective wax coatings and cleaners for aircraft surfaces, wax-fortified paints for Army, Navy, and Marine Corps equipment. So you can see that the use of wax as a protective finish for all kinds of materials and surfaces is becoming increasingly important.
You know, Molly, I'll bet I could have traced the McGees clear back to the days of King Arthur. I'll bet Sir Galahad maybe was one of my ancestors.
Who?
Sir Galahad.
Was he a bad night or a good night?
A good night.
A good night, all.
The characters of the old-timer and Wallace Wimple heard on this program were played by Bill Thompson. This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This program reached you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company. Johnson Wax program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with Who Cares?
Who cares?
You know, if things just didn't wear out, we wouldn't have so many little problems right now. When your one and only electric toaster or vacuum cleaner goes out of commission now, it's a serious matter. It really pays to take extra good care of everything you have. Now, the best way to do this is by using things properly and, of course, keeping them serviced and oiled and cleaned. Many things you can protect simply by applying a coat of Johnson's Wax. Your floors, furniture, and woodwork, for example, are actually safeguarded against wear and against dirt with a tough coat of wax. Likewise, your windowsills, Venetian blinds, leather goods, and enameled surfaces. Most housekeepers know that the shield of wax also gives rich beauty to these surfaces and saves many hours of cleaning and housework. But today, when conservation is so important, the protection which Johnson's Wax offers is its #1 contribution. As we visit Wistful Vista tonight, we find our friend...
One guy there, Sonny, one guy.
Hey, what's your hurry? Who do you want to see?
Fibber McGee and Molly. Hey, kids, leave me in. Open up there, kids.
Mr. Old-Timer, what on earth is the matter?
Leave me in, kids, leave me in.
Hey, what is this anyway, Halloween?
You gotta hide me, Johnny. They're after me.
Well, I'll give you a hiding, all right. What's the idea of beating our front door into Kittling Wood?
You mean kindling?
I said Kittling, didn't I?
Come on, kids, please. This ain't any time for even a good joke. Hide me someplace.
Now, calm yourself, Mr. Old-Timer. We won't let anybody hurt you.
Who's after you?
Cops, the FBI, everybody. They're all after me.
Oh,
they catch me, I'll go to prison for 100 years.
Well, when we come to see you, will you introduce me to Humphrey Bogart?
Oh, daughter. I ain't fooling. You gotta hide me. I tell you, I'm a fugitive.
Well, quit fidgeting, fugitive. What's this all about? You must have done something pretty serious.
Yes, the FBI doesn't chase people for matching nickels.
I know it, kids, I know it. I got it coming to me. I never should have done it. No, I've always been a good boy. I guess I'm just a weak character.
Yeah, and this is your last week character if you don't start talking. What did you do?
I didn't realize what I was doing was so bad, Johnny. First time I noticed I was being followed was this afternoon. Was on the way to the dentist. And dressed, too.
Why?
And he says I gotta have braces on my teeth. So when I started for home...
I thought you were going to the dentist.
I was, but I had to go home and get my teeth, didn't I? Well, sir, I see the fellow behind me. Looks like an FBI man.
How can you tell an FBI man when you see him?
Well, he was wearing a Hoover collar, and, Oh, criminy, kids, here they are. Hide me. Get me out of sight.
Okay. Get behind the dashboard.
Hurry now, hurry. Pull your feet in. There, that's it. It'll be kind of hard to explain two people with 6 feet.
We're putting ourselves in a bad spot, Molly. You know that, don't you? We're accessories.
So what's an accessory? A bumper is an accessory. And what's a bumper for? To take the bumps. Now, if we can't take a few bumps for a friend, come in. Oh, it's Mrs. Uppington. You don't know how glad we are to see you, Abigail.
How do you do, my dear? I'm Miss McGee.
Hi, Uppy. You ain't exactly who we were. We thought somebody else was... How's everything, Uppy?
Oh, splendid, just splendid, Miss McGee. I thought I just... Mr. McGee, Do you have to do that?
Do what, Abigail? What's he doing?
Chewing his necktie.
That's just a habit I got, Uppy. Always chew my necktie when I think about something.
Yeah, he always does that, Abigail.
Yeah.
I tried to break him up by making him wear bow ties, but he kept spraining his neck to get at them.
Have a chair, Uppy?
Yes, thank you. I just sit over here on the Davenport.
No, not there, Abigail.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, the Davenport is broken, Uppy. The spring's busted. Liable to get stabbed. Here, sit over here.
But your hat is on that chair, Miss McGee.
That isn't his hat. That's a straw hat, and McGee always wears it. Or is that your hat?
Why, sure, that's my hat. I just bought it this morning.
Oh, well, this fresh open air really turns them yellow in no time, doesn't it?
Oh, he bought it second-hand. He never wears a straw hat past the middle of November anyway. What can we do for you, Abigail?
Well, I just stopped in, my dear, to see if... Good heavens. Was that a sneeze?
Must be that darn cat that keeps coming in here. Kitty, kitty, kitty! Where are you, kitty?
Meow. Meow. Poor little thing has a cold. Now, what were you saying, Abigail?
Well, I just wanted to know, my dear, if you would go down to the Federal Building with me. I want to see the FBI.
Oh, heavenly days, that cat has knocked over the lamp.
Doggone you old-time cat. Can't you be a little more careful? What you going to see the FBI about, Uppy? Find a German spy in your sauerkraut?
No, Mr. McGee, I want to register my fingerprints in their voluntary civilian files. My brother in Washington suggested it.
Oh, you got a brother in Washington? What does he do?
He's a lobbyist.
Oh, we don't care where he sleeps. What does he do?
Well, I don't quite know, my dear. It has something to do with the farm lobby. I believe he's a rainmaker.
A rainmaker? Bosh. A likely story. Nobody can make rain.
Well, possibly not, Miss McGee. All I know is what people tell me. They say he's been under a cloud for some time. But I'm sorry you can't come with me. Goodbye.
All right, Mr. Oldtimer, you can come out now.
I'm sorry about that lamp, kids, but I was getting a cramp in my leg under the Davenport. Hey, why can't I hide in here next time?
No, you can't hide in there.
No, don't open that door.
Why not, kid? Seems like this would be a perfect place to... Oh, I see what you mean.
Now, look, old-timer, we're your friends, and we'll go to bat for you up to a point.
Yeah, so let's get to the point.
Okay, kids, but I hate to tell you, if I go to Leavenworth, it's going to break Mama's heart. I was her favorite boy. I was always the one they cut down Papa's best pants for.
How many brothers did you have?
Didn't have any, just 3 sisters.
You ever seen my sister Eileen?
My sister Eileen is a play, isn't it?
Not mine. She's a sketch. I mind one time...
Oh, for goodness sakes, Mr. Oldtimer, tell us what you've done. Why are the police after you?
Yeah, make with a confession.
Well, I don't know right where to start, kid.
We'll start right at the beginning.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, sir, I was born in Terre Haute, Indiana. One of two twin boys. Papa takes one look at us and says, let's keep this one and drown this other one. And that's how I learned to swim. Several years later, I was in the reservoir.
Hey. Skip your first childhood and get to the second one, old-timer. We don't want the story of your life.
I should say now, at 35 miles an hour, your autobiography would be pretty slow moving. Now, what'd you do to get the FBI after you?
I've been un-American, daughter. I'm a traitor to my country. I'm just a dirty old Benefit Arnold.
It was Benedict, and quit crying in my root beer. Come on, now, talk.
Well, sir, it's going to do me good to get it off my mind. So here it goes. I was born in Terre Haute, Indiana. You know, crime against the cops, kids. Give me a handful of beans, daughter.
What for?
Got a bean shooter in my pocket. I'll shoot my way out. They'll never take me alive. I'll learn.
You talk like the bad half of a double feature. Cram into the dining room. No, the other door. That's it.
And if anybody comes in there, just lie down on a pickle dish and put on a Billy expression. Okay, McGee, let him in.
Come in.
Oh, for goodness sake, Billy Mills.
Hello, Mom. Hello, Skip.
Hi, Billy.
Won't you come down and sit in for a moment? Won't you take off your chair and have a cold, Mr. Mills?
She's kind of nervous today, Bill. She means, won't you give your hips a downbeat?
Oh, thanks. I just wanted to tell you I saw your new picture. Here we go again.
Oh, did you really?
How'd you like it, Billy?
What do you mean, how'd I like it? I admitted I saw it, didn't I? Do I have to get nasty about it? A fine thing.
Well, what an odd reaction.
Yeah, hope it ain't nationwide. Okay, old-timer, you can come out now.
Oh, thanks, kid. I sure had me scared for a minute.
Well, I don't know why. You've known Mr. Mills for years.
Cousin him I was scared of, daughter. All the time I was in the dining room, somebody kept ringing the back door buzzer.
We haven't got any buzzer on our back door.
Oh, I must have, Johnny. Heard this play?
Wait a minute now. Where were you in the dining room?
Under the table, daughter, on the side towards
Oh, you were sitting on the service buzzer.
What's that?
That's the signal for the maid to bring in the next course. If we had a maid. We ate our dinner in courses, only we don't have a maid, and we eat in the kitchen, and we call it supper. And after this, watch where you sit.
Yeah. Now, before somebody else comes in, let's have your story.
All righty. I was born in Terre Haute, Indiana. Born without a...
No. Skip that. What are the cops after you for?
Hey? Oh, yeah. Well, kids, you're going to despise me for it when I tell you. I guess I'm...
Hello, folks. What's frying?
Cram against the cop. They got me. They're going to fry me. Tell the kids, hold him while I make a break for
Oh, here. Calm yourself, Mr. Oldtimer. It's just Mr. Wilcox. You know him.
Say, what goes on here? You expecting a cop?
Don't tell him, kids. Don't tell him.
What do you think we are, stool pigeons? He's in a little jam with the FBI, Harlow, but we want to talk it over a little before he does anything rash.
Well, talk it over with me. I'm sort of an FBI man myself.
What do you mean you're sort of an FBI man?
Well, that's my job. FBI. Floors brightened instantly. Just pour a few drops of Johnson's self-polishing glow coat on your linoleum, spread it around, let it dry, and presto. In 20 minutes or less, it's dried to a beautiful, sparkling finish. That's what I mean. I'm sort of a member of the kitchen police.
Then you don't arrest people?
No, I don't, old-timer. I just try to get people to use glow coat to arrest the deterioration of their linoleum.
Bless you.
And that's pretty important now when we have to conserve what we have and make things last. Why, when I think what an important part all the Johnson products play in the conservation program, I almost feel I am a government agent.
No, don't say that, Sonny. Don't say it.
What's the matter with him, Molly? He's white as a sheet.
Better just leave him alone, Mr. Wilcox.
Yeah, duck along, Junior. We'll handle this. See you later.
Nothing I can do to help?
No, thank you. And don't tell anybody you saw him here.
Why not?
Because the police are going to drag out the throw net for him, that's why.
McGee, how many times must I tell you it's throw out the drag net? Goodbye, Mr. Wilcox.
You sure I can't be of any help?
No. Beat it, will you? Scram.
All right, but you don't have to push me.
Jiminy, kids. I never been so scared in my born days.
Well, brace up. Don't be such a scaredy cat. You're just a bundle of nerves.
No, I am not, Johnny. I'm as cool as a cucumber. I'm as... Hey! What was that noise?
Oh, I dropped a piece of yarn on the rug.
No, you're not nervous. You're as high-strung as the George Washington Bridge. Now, get that story off your mind while we got a moment's peace, will you?
Okay. Quiet, kids. I was born in Terre Haute, Indiana. Where'll I go, kids? Where'll I go? Let me crawl under the rug.
Oh, fine. We'll tell them it's a Brussels carpet and you're the sprout. Go on back into the dining room.
Stay off of that buzzer.
I will, kids. I will.
Come in.
Oh, Mayor Latrivia. Come in, Mr. Mayor.
Hello, Mr. McGee. Hello, McGee.
Hi, Latriv. You're just the guy I wanted to talk to.
Yeah?
Yes, I thought you'd cleaned up gambling in this town.
I have. And if you know of any gambling joints, McGee, I hope you'll report them.
Well, I'll give you one right now. How about the Populous' restaurant?
Heavenly day.
Can you gamble in there?
Brother, have you ever ordered their chicken croquettes?
Oh, stop it, McGee. What do you want to see us about, Mr. Mayor?
I just wanted your opinion of this little verse. It's to be printed on the back of the city water bills and sent to everyone.
Oh, let's hear it.
It says, remember what happened in 1920 when people starved in the midst of plenty? We ought to be much smarter now. If we want milk, let's feed the cow. Let's all be ready when this is over and start today to plant the clover. Let's all buy bonds and pay our debts, for the man what has is the man what gets.
Well, my. I think that's wonderful, Mr. Mayor. Did you write that?
No, it was sent in by a chap named Wimple, Wallace Wimple.
Oh, sure, old Wimp. We know him well, Latrivia. Kind of a short, long fellow.
You approve of the idea, then?
Oh, absolutely, Mr. Mayor.
Splendid, splendid. Glad you like it. I thought I'd get your slant on it as a couple of average citizens. Try it on the dog, you know.
Take off your coat, Latrivia. You can't
What for?
call my wife a dog and get away with it.
No, he didn't call me a dog, dearie. He's too much of a gentleman. He meant you.
Oh, he did he? Put up your deuce, Latrivia.
Oh, stop it, McGee. It was just an expression. Don't be silly.
So I'm being silly when I resent being insulted, eh? Now I'm a silly dog.
Oh, you're not being logical, McGee.
What do you mean, Mrs. McGee?
You called him a dog. A dog is man's best friend. You don't fight with your friends, do you?
This gets worse and worse. I'm not only a silly dog, but now I'm a friendly one. You don't think I can fight, huh?
Oh, stop waving your paw. I mean your fist. This is ridiculous.
I think it is, too. You better go, Mr. Mayor, before he bites you in the leg. Come on, McGee. Mother'll get you a nice big ham bone.
That does it. Latrivia, I'm going to beat you to a pulp for those insults. I'm going to pound you so flat I can mail you home.
Oh, my. This ought to be very interesting. Say, is it true that you were an intercollegiate boxing champion, Mr. Mayor?
Quite true, Mrs. McGee.
I'm going to hammer your odd-shaped skull till it rings like a... It is?
Is what?
True.
Is what true?
That you're an intercollegiate... Aren't we being a bunch of rummies? They're flying off the handle like that. Well, I'm glad you dropped in, Latrivia.
Thanks. Good day, Mrs. McGee.
Goodbye, Mr. Mayor.
And McGee.
Huh?
Let's go out some afternoon and bark at automobiles. The King's Men sing from Tita Lopez.
He was a handsome young Irish lad. She was a Mexican beauty. It was fiesta, and I might add, romantically, he was on duty. A boy and a girl neath the stars. I can tell it in 64 bars. His Irish heart went bingo when he saw the Rose of Juarez. So Timothy Kerrigan, Michael O'Harrigan fell for the Rose of Juarez. Conchita, Marquita, Lolita, Pepita, Rosita, Juanita Lopez. Mandolins began to play. Her lips were ready for a kiss. And as they danced, I heard him happily say,
The choice was never like this.
Then the wedding bells began to ring, oh, and they rolled away.
If we're not joking, if you're in Hoboken, drop in for a minute and you'll meet Conchita, Marquita, Lolita, Pepita, Rosita, Juanita, O'Toole. Timothy, Kerrigan, Michael O'Harrigan, Finnegan, Hannigan, Patrick O'Flanagan, Mary, the pretty Marquita, Lolita, Pepita, Rosita, Juanita, Lopez. There is Teresa, Maria, Elisa, and Patsy, and Molly, and Mike. And there is Pedro, and Sancho, and Carlos, and Pancho, and Timothy Jr., and Spike. The wedding bells are now just a memory, but still they're happy and gay. To prove we're not joking, go round to Hoboken, drop in on the family someday. Sure, they'll steal your heart away.
Okay, old-timer, all right, the coast is clear.
You can come out now.
Thanks, kids. Who was it? What did he want?
It was the mayor. He wanted to get a free criticism on some poetry. Cheapskate.
Well, bachelors always take advantage of people, McGee. They're called on so often to fill out a bridge table, they think every fourth person in the world is a dummy.
Well, be that as may or may not be or not. I want to hear what the old-timer here's got to say for himself. And it better be good, too, old-timer.
Okay, Johnny. Well, sir, I was born in Terre Haute. Hey, look, kids. I've been so scared today I ain't had a bite to eat. How's about sandwich, Toller?
Why, of course, you poor thing. You come right with me.
But, Molly, why can't we let him tell his story before...
Hush, dear, hush. The poor man's hungry. You can't fire a gun without loading.
I see. Before he shoots off his face, we got to feed it. Okay, but keep the kitchen door shut, and if anybody comes in, I'll stall them off.
Oh, thanks, Johnny. Just give me a bowl of soup, daughter. I'll be Mr. Holt.
Bowl of soup, my cratical. She ought to feed that guy a handful of animal crackers. If that monkey ain't lying, he's got his neck out like a giraffe. I wonder.
Hi, mister.
Huh? Oh, hi, sis. I didn't hear you knock.
I know it. I didn't knock.
Why not? Why didn't you knock?
Well, gee, that'd be silly, mister, when you got a doorbell to ring.
Well, then why didn't you ring the doorbell?
I couldn't reach it.
Then why didn't you knock?
Look, mister, we've been all over that. If you want somebody to ring your doorbell, you just wait till Halloween. You just wait, I betcha.
Oh, lay off, sis, lay off. Anyway, you said you couldn't reach it.
I can, and Willie Toops boost me up, I can. We tried it last night.
Oh, you did, eh? Kind of a dress rehearsal for Halloween, eh? I said it was kind of a dress rehearsal.
Only for me. Willie wears knickerbockers.
Look, sis, don't you know the real significance of Halloween? Eh?
What?
What'd you say?
What'd you hear?
Look, sis, every holiday is celebrated for a certain reason. Don't you know the real reason we celebrate Halloween?
No. Why do we, mister? Why do we?
Ah, that's better. An intelligent attitude like that deserves an intelligent answer.
Thank you.
We celebrate Halloween, sis, because it always...
Yeah.
It commemorates the...
Yeah?
Oh, it's too involved to go into right now. I'm busy. You better run along.
Have you got time for a poodle? Have you?
A what?
A poodle.
Where is it? Let me see it.
You can't see it, mister. I tell it to you.
You tell me, a poodle? What kind of double talk is this?
You know, mister, a poodle is a little riddle you can't get through your noodle. You want to hear it?
No, but I don't know how I can get out of it. So go ahead.
Why do they make toy banks in the shape of pigs?
Oh, I'll sit still for that one, sis. Why do they make piggy banks?
Because sailors wear little white caps.
I don't get it.
Well, gee, it's simple, mister.
Huh?
Sailors have little white caps, and the sea has little white caps, too.
Yeah.
And it makes the waves pretty, and my mother is pretty, too, and she just joined the waves, and the waves wash the beach, and the beach is full of sand, and so is spinach, and farmers grow spinach, and they have to get up at 5 o'clock, and that's too early. And so's a pig's tail. And so's a pig's tail, and you can bank on that, I betcha.
Silly twaddle ever. Sailors have little twirly caps because spinach gets up at 5 o'clock with a pig full of sand. That don't make sense.
Did I hear you talking to somebody, dearie?
Yeah, a little girl from across the street. How you feel now, old-timer? Fed up?
You bet, Johnny.
Yeah, so am I, with the whole thing. So get busy now and tell your story.
Yes, Mr. Oldtimer. You know, we've been very patient with you. If we can help you with a clear conscience, we'll do it, but we won't be parties to anything crooked. Now, go ahead and tell it.
Well, it was like this, kids. Oh, I'm so ashamed. I wouldn't blame the FBI if they stood me up against a wall and shot me.
Shot you for what?
Well, I'm a hoarder.
What?
That's the way you heard it, daughter. I'm a hoarder.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I know it, Johnny. I know.
Yes, you know very well that hoarding causes shortages, and shortages cause prices to go up. It's greedy and selfish and un-American, and who do you think you are to need so much more of anything than somebody else?
Pour it on, daughter. Pour it on. I deserve it. But it all started so easy. You see, I had 4 of them to start with. Then I thought I'd get me a spare.
Oh. I begin to see.
Then when I had me a spare, I thought I'd hide some away, and I knew a fellow that'd give them to me at 25% discount, and I couldn't resist it, and I kept buying them and buying them. I got hundreds of them.
A fine thing, with the country as desperate for tires as it is now. You have to go.
Tires? I ain't hoarding tires.
Well, what are you hoarding?
United States war bonds.
United States war? Why, of all the...
Do you think they'll shoot me, Johnny, with all the people wanting war bonds and me grabbing them up? I didn't know what I was doing.
Said by our enemies that we are soft, wasteful people. Well, let them have what solace they can get out of that thought, because by now they've learned that we are anything but soft. And before we're through with them, they'll know that we were only wasteful because we have had so much of everything, such a high standard of living. But every day in talking with friends and neighbors, you realize that we can certainly make whatever sacrifices we are called upon to make. Also, that it's probably very good for us to be more saving and learn to take better care of our things. I read a good many letters these days from housewives who tell us how grateful they are for Johnson's wax in these days of conservation, how careful they are to protect their floors, furniture, and woodwork, and many other things with regular applications of Johnson's paste, liquid, or cream wax.
McGee, did you hear Mr. Wilkie on the radio last night?
Yes, I did.
What did he have to say?
Made a very interesting speech. Says the world isn't as big as it used to be, and after this war, we all got to be neighbors.
Oh, hands across the sea, you mean?
Yeah. First arms and then hands. Good night.
Good night, all.
The character of the old-timer heard on this program was played by Bill Thompson. This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson Wax Finishes for the home and industry, inviting you all to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This program has reached you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with There's a Great Day Coming, Manana. Did you ever take a look at particles of dirt and dust under a magnifying glass? They look just like sharp, ragged rocks. No wonder dirt wears things out. When stone and steel wear away, you can't expect wood surfaces or painted surfaces to stand up without protection. But dirt doesn't need to wear out those surfaces. They can easily be protected with an application of Johnson's Wax. The tough coat of wax acts as a shield, guards the surfaces of floors, furniture, and woodwork against wear. And when the wax is worn off, you can easily renew that protection with another coat of wax. Johnson's Wax will help you prolong the life of many things in your home which you cannot replace in wartime. Ladies and gentlemen, we give you Fibber McGee and Molly. But first we give you Fibber, who with his honor Mayor Latrivia is sitting in a duck blind at the edge of Mud Lake. They're loaded down with lunch baskets, shotgun shells, and blankets. And the bottom of the boat is completely covered with no ducks whatsoever.
Quit grabbing it, will you? You'll get some ducks. People go hunting with me never fail. And why? Because I'm a natural hunter. Got an instinct for stalking game. Now, a hunter's got to learn two things. First, the habits of the game he's hunting, and second, silence. Silence is very important to trivia. A hunter that can't keep his mouth shut is liable to scare all the game away, you see? On the other hand, a fellow that keeps gabbing all the time hasn't got the time...
For goodness sakes, will you keep quiet, McGee?
Not so loud, Latrivia. That's exactly what I was talking about. You're too gabby.
I'm too gabby. I haven't said 3 words since we got here this morning. I'm too cold.
Well, I'm cold, too. That's why I talk. Figure while my teeth are chattering, I might as well make them useful. Now, before I started as the expert hunter...
McGee, look. What's that?
Where?
Flying this way. Over to the right. In a V formation.
Ah, that's a bunch of Army planes. Put down your gun and wave to them, Latrivia. Those are our boys. Hi, boys! After landing! Yoo-hoo!
Army plane. Quack, 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 quack. Who was the one in front with the yellow bill? Jimmy Doolittle?
Well, doggone it, they look like Army planes. Ducks have got no right to fly in a V formation while there's a war on. It's too confusing.
Oh, don't be so silly, McGee. Ducks have always flown in a V formation.
Yeah, a likely story. Ducks don't even know how to spell victory. Give me that stuff for trivia. I know my ducks. I was a professional duck hunter once.
You don't say. What were you before that?
A street singer with a mandolin. Used to make as much as $6 just on a Sunday morning singing, I'll meet you in the garden where the praties grow.
I can understand why you took up duck shooting.
What you mean?
Must have been easier to pot ducks than vice versa.
I don't get it.
Hand me the thermos jug. I want some hot coffee.
Thermos jug?
Yes. I'm half frozen. It's under the seat there. I tied rope to the handle so it wouldn't fall overboard.
Oh, here. Here's the rope. Hey, this ain't a thermos jug. This is an anchor.
And what, may I ask, did you throw over for an anchor?
Well, gee whiz, how did I know? Hey, hand me my shotgun, quick. Here comes three of them right over our heads. You take the one on the right, I'll take the other two.
McGee, don't shoot. Stop it. Put your gun down. McGee, I'm going home.
Be a sportsman. We'll get some ducks.
No, I don't want to stay out here with the duck hunter who fires at airplanes and throws kisses to mallards. Who throws the coffee overboard and offers me a cold anchor to drink. Who chatters away like a magpie with, look, McGee, here they come. My first shot. Keep your head down.
Oh, boy, there's a million of them.
Yes? Yes, well, I'm so glad you called, Mrs. Stoops, and I'll see that you get a couple of ducks as soon as he gets home. We can't use more than two of them ourselves, and I promised one to Billy Mills and two to Mr. Wilcox. Yes. Oh, don't mention it. Goodbye. Now, let me see. I better write that down. 2 ducks to Mrs. Stoops, 2 to Mr. Wilcox, 1 for Mr. Mills, and 2 for ourselves. That's 7. I wonder what we better do with the rest of them. Oh, come in.
Hello there, daughter. Where's Johnny?
Oh, McGee? He went duck hunting with Mary LaTrivia, Mr. Oldtimer.
Duck hunting, eh? Gee, I wish I'd known he was gone, daughter. I'm quite a Nimrod myself.
Now, you mean Nimrod.
Not in this weather, daughter. It's numb. Johnny, pretty good man with a gun.
Oh, McGee's a wonderful shot, Mr. Oldtimer. Though they got off to rather a bad start today.
What you mean, daughter?
Well, just as they were loading up the mayor's automobile, McGee stumbled and spilled all the shotgun shells under the car.
LaTrivia get mad?
Oh, no, he didn't get mad. He just stood there and sang, "Raise the board and pass the ammunition."
That's pretty good, daughter. But that ain't the way I heard it. The way I heard it. Hey, if you have any ducks left over, give me one, will you, daughter?
Why, certainly, Mr. Oldtimer.
Thanks, daughter. The way I heard it, one feller says to tell a feller, say, says.
Come in.
She says, come in.
Oh, for goodness sakes, I'll open it for them. McGee!
Take some of this stuff, Molly. Take the lunch basket. Hey, Oldtimer, grab this shotgun.
Here.
Take the blanket, somebody, honey. I'm about ready to fold up.
Oh, you poor lad, you do look tired. Here, sit down here.
Where's the ducks, Johnny?
I only got one. Boy, what a day. Take my shoes off, will you, Molly?
Of course I will. I'll run up and get your slippers for you, too.
Only one duck?
Yes, only one duck. You want to make something out of it?
Well, I promised him one if you got a lot of them, McGee.
Promised me one anyway.
I did not.
You did too.
She did not.
You did too.
I did not.
You keep out of this, you little... Oh, excuse me, daughter. Hey, where am I put the shotgun, Johnny?
Oh, lean it in the corner there. Any place.
You sure it isn't loaded, dearie?
What do you mean, loaded? What kind of a hunter you think I am coming into the house with a loaded gun? Pull the trigger and see for yourself.
Okay.
There, you see? Only a fool would keep a gun loaded when he was coming.
Ow! Well, you ain't a complete fool, Johnny. You unloaded one barrel.
arrested now, McGee?
Yeah, a little. Give me another match, will you? My cigar's going out. Ain't got enough strength left to puff on. Thanks.
Well, it must be a great sport, duck hunting.
Yeah, well, it is fun. But this is the last time I go duck hunting with Latrivia.
Why?
Well, I don't know, but that's what he said. No sportsman. Keeps crabbing all the time.
Crabbing about what?
Well, how did I know it was his hat I was bailing out the boat with?
Well, with only 2 people in the boat, it was 50-50 whose hat it was. Did the boat leak, dearie?
Did it leak? There was a hole in the bottom of it I could have almost stuck my head through. I say almost because Latrivia tried to do it.
His head?
No, mine.
Well, why did he do that?
Sort of. Just because my gun went off and blew the bottom out of the boat.
Oh. Well, that must have been quite a little outing. And you only got 1 duck. Well, what did it do? Commit suicide?
No, sir. It was the finest piece of marksmanship I ever saw, if I do say so myself as I shouldn't. There I was, sitting in the boat, keeping a keen eye out for every duck. Every nerve tense and ready. When all of a sudden, a wing flashed right by my face.
A duck?
No, a fried chicken. Latrivia spilled the lunch. Well, sir?
Come in. Oh, hello, Abigail, darling.
How do you do, Mrs. McGee? Mr. McGee.
Hi, Abby. Pardon me if I don't leap up and bow from the waist, but I got a terrific mallard migraine.
Why, good heavens, what is that, Mr. McGee?
A foul headache.
He just got home from his duck shooting trip, Abigail. Spent all day out in a cold rowboat and only got 1 duck. Isn't that the limit?
Why, I was under the impression that 10 was the limit.
It is, but both me and Latrivia were hunting under the worst possible conditions, Abby.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, McGee was with the mayor, and the mayor was with McGee. Now, if you can whip up any worse conditions than that, we'll shoot it in Technicolor.
Next time I'll go alone, not with an amateur like Latrivia.
I just met him down the street, Mr. McGee.
What did he have to say, Abigail?
Well, he said Mr. McGee was the biggest bore he'd been out with since he left the Coast Artillery.
Oh, he did he? Why, that...
He said that Mr. McGee was really a boon to wildlife, and he didn't mean Daniel.
Now, look here, Abby. If he said...
And he added that you were a born woodsman, particularly from the neck up.
Oh, my goodness, now, I don't think that was
And he concluded his remarks, Mr. McGee, with a comment that you couldn't hit a duck with a napkin if it was on a blue plate special.
Why, that big blowhard. He'd never even seen a double-barrel shotgun before. Didn't even know what it was for.
He didn't really?
No, he had 1 barrel full of cigarettes with a cork in the end of it. Why, if I...
How many ducks did you get, Mr. McGee?
He got 1, Abigail.
Oh, how many did Mel Latrivia get?
That's beside the point. What I'm trying to say is...
How many did he get, Mr. McGee?
How many he got is immaterial. Anybody that...
How many?
9. And why? Because he shut with his eyes shut, that's why.
Sorry, I must be going, Mr. McGee. And don't apologize for not being able to give me a duck. Mel Latrivia gave me 2 of them. Goodbye, Mr. McGee.
Goodbye, Abigail.
So long, Uppy. And next time you see...
Oh, I knew I'd forgotten something. Here, Mr. McGee, the mayor wanted me to lend you his wristwatch, just to make it mutual.
Make what mutual?
He said that anyone who survived the day's hunting with you was living on borrowed time.
There's nothing like outdoor life to make men real pals, is there, McGee?
I'll pal him. I never been so insulted in my life. Why, when I think that lint head was behind me all day with a shotgun, it makes my blood stand on end.
Yes, but did he really shoot 9 ducks?
Well, so what if he did? Beginner's luck.
Well, maybe you better begin again yourself. Here, I promised ducks to everybody in the neighborhood.
Hiya, folks. Where's my duck?
Still flying south, Mr. Wilcox. In a V formation, meaning vamoose.
Come on. No kidding. I've invited 6 people to a duck dinner tomorrow night. Give me my ducks.
You haven't got any ducks, Junior. I only got 1, and we're eating that ourselves.
Oh. Well, that's okay, pal. I'll cook steaks for my guests.
Can you cook, Mr. Wilcox?
Can I cook? Baby, I can spot Oscar of the Waldorf 3 lamb chops and beat him by 2 fricassees and a curry. I had to learn to cook.
How so, Junior? Inquired little Fibber with his bright blue eyes dancing with mischief.
Well, I'll tell you, whenever I demonstrated Johnson's self-polishing glow coat and how it would give new life and beauty to tired old linoleum and make housekeeping a thing of joy because glow coat can be applied with practically no effort and shines as it dries to a mirror-like polish in 20 minutes or less, what did I start out to say?
Well, you started out to say how you learned to broil steaks, and I'm interested, too, being the chef here myself.
Yeah, now you're gassing with cook, Wilcox.
Well, wherever I demonstrated glow coats and how easily spots and spilled food are wiped right up with a damp cloth, also I've said, well, that's all very well, Mr. Wilcox, but you're just a man. You don't know what it is to work in a kitchen all day. So I learned to cook.
Yes, but did it help any in your selling?
It certainly did. The first time I ever spilled peach preserves on the linoleum, I discovered that nothing preserves linoleum as peachy as glow coat. You don't like it?
No.
Okay, I'll try again next Tuesday.
Imagine that guy as a cook, Molly. I'll bet the only way he could get a lamb in the stew would be to make like a wolf.
Speaking of cooking, McGee, I better get this duck ready for dinner.
Ah, boy, duck dinner. Roast duck and wild rice. I'm so hungry I could eat the drumstick off the card table. Believe me? Come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hi, little girl. You better run along now. Don't bother me. I'm tired.
Why?
I've been hunting. I'm all in.
Oh.
What happened to me today shouldn't happen to a duck. And almost didn't. What you got in the paper bag, sis?
Jelly beans.
Oh, boy, jelly beans. Got any black ones?
Sure I have, I betcha.
I was about divvying up with your old pal, huh? I ain't had any black jelly beans since I was saddle high to a tricycle.
Will you tell me a story if I give you something, will you please, will you?
You drive a hard bargain, sis, but it's a deal. Phone me over the jelly beans.
Okay. Hey, not so many, gee.
I only took 5. Don't be such a cheap-fisted little tight skate.
It ought to be worth a dandy long story then, mister.
Okay. Did I ever tell you why the leaves turn red in the fall and green in the spring?
Yes.
Well, what do you want for 5 jelly beans, Ernest Hemingway? The reason the leaves turn red in the fall, sis, is because red is a stop sign. It means stop. Put on your warm clothes. Stop. Close the door after you. Stop. It's almost Thanksgiving. Stop. Get out your sled.
Oh, heavenly days.
And the reason the leaves turn green in the spring is because green means go. It means go out and play. Go pick the wildflowers. Go get out your bathing suit. Go and...
Hey, mister.
Huh?
Look, I don't begrudge you the jelly beans, but I don't go for that heavy-handed whimsy.
What you mean, sis?
Well, gee, everybody knows the coloration of foliage is due almost entirely to the photosynthetic action of chlorophyll under the actinic rays of solar radiation, in combination with a seasonal diminishing of the flow of vegetative fluids, and you can give that stop-and-go malarkey back to the Indians.
King's men sing, clabbering up the rain.
My pa went up in the hills one day for to get his mash cooking. He took a 12-gauge gun along in case someone were looking. I heard him say today's the day to taste it with a skewer when they're not more than 10 foot away. Was a gall dang revenuer. It's clabbering up rain. It's clabbering up rain. When my pa gets his dander up, it's clabbering up for rain.
The gal I love is a mountain gal. She's jealous as a demon, and she can claw like a bear cub small, or else I must be a dreamin'. I took her to a hoedown dancing in the dark. I kissed her, on went the light, and dang my sight, if I hadn't kissed her sister. Clabbering up the rain, it's clabbering up the rain. When my gal gets her dander up, it's clabbering up the rain.
My baby brother's a pesky brat named Dandel Obadiah. He won great fame because he got the name of the country's champion crier.
Got a crying voice like Grandpa's bull, and a a temper like a viper. Should have seen that Tom today. He got a hornet in his pant leg. Whoa, it's clabbering up rain. It's clabbering up rain.
When Daniel gets his dander up, it's a clabbering up.
It's clabbering up. It's clabbering, clabbering, clabbering up
Ah, boy, that duck smells good.
It really does, doesn't it?
Yep, my mouth is watering so hard my teeth just went down for the third time.
Say, McGee, you never did tell me how you happened to shoot this one duck.
Oh, say, I guess I didn't at that. Well, sir, there we were, keeping a sharp eye out for ducks. That is, I was keeping a sharp eye out. La Trivia is too nearsighted.
I didn't know that.
Sure, a stigma prism or something. Bit himself in 5 places one night eating spare ribs. Well, anyway, there we were on the alert, when all of a sudden, whoosh, over come this beautiful duck, out of no place. La Trivia just sat there like a mote, all flustered. But I was cool as a cucumber.
And just as green, according to him.
Well, anything that guy says, you can take with a dose of salt. Well, sir, with a smile of confidence, I draws a lead on him.
On the mayor?
No, on the duck. Closer and closer he comes.
Oh, I wonder who that is. Come in.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee.
Well, hello there, Mr. Wimple.
Hi, Wimp, old man. What if you know if I'm not being too optimistic?
No, nothing much new, Mr. McGee. May I?
May you what, Mr. Wimple?
May I pick up the duck Mr. McGee promised me?
Well, I'll tell you, Wimp, it's like this. I didn't have very good luck today. Only got one duck.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. McGee. I can get along without it. I just thought it would be a change from that chop that Sweetie Face gives me every night.
What? Chops every night?
Yeah.
Pork or lamb?
Suey. Sweetie Face is a great admirer of the Chinese.
Oh.
She calls me her little shiny lollipop.
At least she seems to have a sense of humor, Mr. Wimple.
Oh, indeed, she has, Mrs. McGee. She has more comical ideas and witty thoughts. In fact, when I left this morning, she made a very funny quote.
Can you remember it?
Yes, for quite a while. It's right here in my collarbone.
Well, you poor lad. Why on earth do you take all that mistreatment?
Confidentially, Mrs. McGee, one of these days I'm going to surprise her. I'm taking a course in muscle building.
Oh.
Here, feel of my biceps, Mr. McGee.
Wow. Feels like you got a house brick up your sleeve. How do you do it, Wimp?
Oh, easy. I just put a house brick up my sleeve. I've been taking deep breathing exercises, too. My chest is now 26 inches, normally.
Oh, and what is it expanded?
25.
Does Sweetie Face know you're building up to something, Wimp?
Oh, I think she suspects, Mr. McGee. She grabbed at me this morning, but I escaped.
Really?
Yes. Our second-story window opens right near a tall tree, and I leaped right through the window to the topmost branch.
Oh. Just like Tarzan, eh, Wimp?
Almost. What I took to the topmost branch turned out to be a crack in my glasses.
Pathetic little mug, isn't it?
He certainly is.
Hey, ain't that duck about ready?
Well, it should be in just a few minutes, dearie. I better baste it once more before...
Oh, for the love of Mike. Why?
79 Wistful Vista, Molly McGee speaking. Who? Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, you did? All right. Yes, I'll be sure and tell him. Thank you for calling. Goodbye.
Molly, if anybody else calls or phones before I fling a fan into that duck, I'm going to ignore them.
Well, I don't blame you, dearie.
Well, let them wait. I got that bird the hard way. One shot in a million. Now I want to enjoy it in peace. Who's at the call?
Toby the butcher. He wants to apologize.
Apologize for what?
He overcharged you 17 cents on that duck you bought.
thought a few years ago that soldiers' uniforms would one day be waxed, but they really are today, and it's a sensible idea. Here's why. Uniforms impregnated with a wax emulsion are rendered water repellent, stain and dirt resistant, look smarter longer, and are easier to launder. Many Army laundries and textile mills use Drax, D-R-A-X, Johnson's water-repellent textile finish for this purpose. The chances are, after the war, you'll be able to buy Drax-treated garments in stores, and to have outdoor clothing, play suits, and other garments treated with Drax at your local laundries or dry cleaners. The makers of Johnson's Wax will welcome inquiries from finishing mills and others interested in Drax. Write S.C. Johnson & Son Incorporated at Racine, Wisconsin, or at Brantford, Ontario.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about ducks for the last half hour. Now let's talk turkey. We're in this fight to the finish. And what does a smart guy do when he starts fighting?
I know, McGee. He gets somebody to hold his coat. Somebody that he knows won't go through the pockets while he's in there swinging.
And that's all of us. We're holding the coats for our boys in the Solomons, in Iceland, in Egypt, in Europe, and all over the world. They're trusting us to see that they'll have something when they get back.
Yes, so let's let them come home to a country that's kept faith with them. Let's buy only essential things. Use less, waste less, and save more by buying war bonds.
Good night.
Good night, Al.
The characters of the old-timer and Wallace Wimple heard on this program were played by Bill Thompson. This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax Finishes for home and industry, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This program came to you from Hollywood. For more late election returns, we take you to Chicago.
Late election returns.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the Kingsmen and Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with Blow, Gabriel, Blow.